Hey, you made it. I'm really glad you're here. If you're cozy under your blanket, maybe with one leg sticking out because you like to live a little wild, welcome. Now tell me something before we start. Where are you listening from and what time is it? I love reading your answers when I'm up way too late, like a sleepy raccoon curled up in a tree. Tonight we're going to talk about why medieval hunters slept in trees for the best sleep in history. Okay, let's get comfy. Picture yourself in a soft, warm place. Maybe you're snuggled in bed, or maybe you're on a couch with a fluffy pillow. Your eyes are feeling heavy like they want to close. That's good, that's perfect. Tonight we're going on a quiet adventure back to a time long ago. A time when people didn't have phones or TVs or bright lights. A time when hunters lived in the forest and slept high up in the trees. Doesn't that sound nice? Let's go there together, slow and easy, like walking through a soft forest. First, let's talk about you. Are you in your bedroom, or maybe you're somewhere else like a living room or even outside under the stars? Wherever you are, I'm happy you're here. I imagine you wrapped in a blanket, maybe with a stuffed animal or a favorite pillow. Maybe it's nighttime where you are and the world is quiet, or maybe it's daytime and you're sneaking a little rest. Either way, you're in the right place. This story is for you to help you feel calm and sleepy. Now let me tell you about me. I'm just a voice talking to you softly like a friend sitting nearby. I love telling stories, especially ones that make you feel cozy. When I was little, I used to lie in bed and listen to the sounds outside my window. Crickets chirping, wind blowing, maybe a dog barking far away. It made me feel safe, like the world was singing me to sleep. That's what I want for you tonight. A story that feels like a warm hug, like a soft breeze, like a quiet forest. Tonight's story is about hunters who lived a long, long time ago. These hunters didn't have houses like we do. They didn't have soft beds or fluffy pillows. They lived in the woods where the trees were tall and the air smelled like pine and dirt. And guess what? They slept in trees. Can you imagine that? Climbing up a big, strong tree, finding a comfy branch, and curling up to sleep with the leaves all around you. It sounds strange, but it was their way of resting, and they loved it. Let's picture it. Close your eyes for a second, not all the way, just a little, and imagine a huge forest. The trees are so tall they touch the sky. Their leaves are green and soft, swaying in the wind. The ground is covered in moss like a big, squishy carpet. The air is cool and smells fresh, like after a rain. Somewhere nearby, a little stream is bubbling over rocks, and up in one of those trees, there's a hunter. His name is Edric. He's got a scruffy beard and kind eyes, and he's sitting on a branch, ready to sleep. His blanket is wrapped around him, and he's smiling because he knows the tree will keep him safe. Why did hunters like Edric sleep in trees? Well, it's a long story, and that's why we're here. This story is going to be slow and gentle, like a lullaby. It's not a story with dragons or battles or loud noises. It's a story about quiet things, trees, stars, soft blankets, and sleepy people. It's a story to help you relax, to help you drift off, to help you feel safe and warm. So let's keep going, nice and easy. Let's talk about where you are again. I really want to know. Are you in a big city with cars honking outside, or are you in a small town where it's super quiet? Maybe you're in a place with lots of trees like the forest we're talking about. And what time is it? Is it late at night when the moon is high? Or is it early in the morning when the sun is just waking up? I love thinking about all the different places you might be. It makes me feel like we're all together, sharing this story like friends around a campfire. When I think about you listening, I imagine you're feeling sleepy already. Maybe your eyes are blinking a little slower. Maybe your breathing is getting softer, like a little wave going in and out. That's good. That's what this story is for. It's like a big, cozy blanket for your mind. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to think hard or solve problems. You just have to listen and let the words carry you like floating on a calm river. Let's go back to Edric, our hunter. He lived in a time called the medieval times. That's a fancy word for a long time ago, like hundreds and hundreds of years back. Back then, life was very different. There were no cars, no computers, no electric lights. People lived closer to nature. They listened to the wind, watched the stars, and followed the animals. Hunters like Edric spent all day in the forest, looking for deer or rabbits to bring back to their village. They didn't have stores to buy food, so they had to find it themselves. Sleeping in trees was special for these hunters. Why? Because trees were safe. Down on the ground, there might be wolves or bears or other things that could bother them. But up in a tree, they were high above, tucked away like birds in a nest. The branches held them tight and the leaves kept them hidden. It was like the tree was their friend saying, "Come on, rest here, I've got you." and Edric would climb up, find a nice branch, and settle in for the night. Let's imagine climbing a tree with Edric. You start at the bottom where the trunk is wide and rough. You grab a branch and pull yourself up step by step. The bark feels cool under your hands. The tree smells like wood and sap, a little sticky but nice. You climb higher and the ground gets farther away. The leaves brush your face, soft and tickly. Finally, you find a big, strong branch wide enough to sit on. You lean against the trunk and it feels solid, like it's been there forever. You wrap your blanket around you and you look up at the sky through the leaves. The stars are twinkling like little lights just for you. Doesn't that sound cozy? Up in that tree, the world feels far away. There's no noise, no worries, just you, the tree, and the quiet night. Edric loved that feeling. He'd sit on his branch, his legs dangling, and listen to the forest. The wind would whisper through the leaves like a soft song. An owl might hoot far away, its voice low and gentle. Sometimes a squirrel would scamper by, chattering, and Edric would smile. He felt like part of the forest, like he belonged there. Let's talk about blankets for a minute. Do you have a favorite blanket? I bet it's soft and warm, maybe with fun colors or patterns. Edric had a blanket too, but it wasn't like ours. His was made of wool, rough and scratchy, but it kept him warm. He'd wrap it around his shoulders and tuck it under his legs so he wouldn't fall off the branch. Sometimes he'd tie it to the tree with a little rope just to be extra safe. That blanket was his best friend at night, keeping him cozy while the cool forest air brushed his face. What's your favorite thing to do before bed? Maybe you read a book or listened to music. Maybe you have a snack or hug your family. Edric had his own bedtime routine. After a long day of hunting, he'd sit by a small fire eating a simple meal, maybe some bread or a bowl of warm soup made from plants and meat. He'd eat slowly, watching the fire flicker. Then he'd climb his tree, wrap up in his blanket, and look at the stars. He didn't have a clock, but he knew it was bedtime when the sky turned dark and the forest got quiet. The forest was never totally quiet, though. There were always sounds, little ones, soft ones. The leaves would rustle like they were talking to each other. A frog might croak by the stream. A bird might flutter in its nest. These sounds were like a lullaby for Edric. They told him the forest was alive but calm, ready to rest just like he was. He'd listen, his eyes getting heavy, and soon he'd be asleep, high in his tree, dreaming of the next day's hunt. Let's think about dreams for a second. You have dreams when you sleep. Maybe you dream about flying or playing with friends. Edric had dreams, too. He thought dreams were special, like messages from the forest. If he dreamed of a deer, he thought it meant good luck for hunting. If he dreamed of a storm, he'd be extra careful the next day. His dreams were part of his life, like the trees and the stars. They made him feel connected to the world around him. Now let's talk about why sleeping in trees was so good for Edric and the other hunters. Today we worry a lot about sleep. We have special pillows, apps to track our sleep, and rules about how many hours we need. But Edric didn't worry. He just climbed his tree, wrapped up in his blanket, and let the forest take care of him. The fresh air, the quiet sounds, the gentle sway of the branches, it all helped him sleep deeply, like a baby in a cradle. Sleeping in a tree might sound hard, but it wasn't for Edric. The branch was his bed, the leaves were his roof, and the stars were his nightlight. He didn't need a fancy mattress or a big house. He had the forest, and that was enough. The trees kept him safe from animals and weather. The cool air kept him comfortable, not too hot or too cold. And the quiet of the forest made his mind calm, like a still pond with no ripples. Let's imagine you're in Edric's tree right now. You're sitting on a big, wide branch. It's strong and steady, like a chair made just for you. You've got a blanket around your shoulders, soft and warm. The leaves above you are rustling, making a gentle sound, like someone whispering a bedtime story. The air smells clean, like rain and pine trees. Far below, you hear a little stream bubbling over rocks. The stars are shining through the leaves, twinkling just for you. You take a deep breath, and your eyes start to close. You feel safe, cozy, and ready to rest. That's what Edric felt every night. He didn't have to try to sleep. He didn't count sheep or worry about tomorrow. He just let the tree hold him, let the forest sing to him, let the night wrap him up. His life was simple, but it was good. He worked hard hunting and walking through the forest, but when night came, he rested. The trees were his home, his bed, his friend. Let's talk about the forest some more. It was a big, beautiful place full of life. There were tall trees like oak and pine with branches that stretched out like arms. There were little bushes and flowers growing close to the ground. Animals lived there, too: deer, rabbits, foxes, and birds. Edric knew them all. He'd see a deer nibbling grass or a squirrel hiding nuts. He felt like they were his neighbors, sharing the forest with him. The forest wasn't just a place to hunt, it was a place to live, to rest, to feel at home. Edric knew every path, every tree, every sound. He knew which trees were best for sleeping, strong ones with wide branches. He knew which spots had the softest moss for sitting. He knew where the stream was so he could get a drink. The forest was his world and he loved it. Let's think about nighttime in the forest. When the sun went down, the forest changed. It got darker, quieter, softer. The birds stopped singing, but the crickets started. The wind blew gently, making the leaves dance. The stars came out one by one like little candles in the sky. Edric would look up and see them, and he'd feel small but safe, like the forest was hugging him. Sleeping in a tree wasn't always perfect. Sometimes it was cold, and Edric's blanket wasn't enough. Sometimes a branch was too hard, and he'd wake up with a sore back. Sometimes an owl would hoot right above him, and he'd grumble. But even on those nights he slept. The forest helped him. The sounds, the air, the trees, they all worked together to make him feel calm. Let's imagine Edric getting ready for bed. He's had a long day, walking through the forest, checking his traps, carrying his bow. He's tired, but it's a good tired, like when you've played outside all day. He finds his favorite tree, a big oak with a wide branch. He climbs up, slow and careful, his hands gripping the bark. He settles on the branch, leaning against the trunk. He pulls his blanket around him, tucking it under his legs. He looks up at the stars, takes a deep breath, and smiles. The forest is quiet, and he's ready to sleep. What do you do to get ready for bed? Maybe you brush your teeth or put on pajamas. Maybe you listen to music or read a story. Edric's bedtime was simpler, but it was special. He'd sit by his fire, eat his soup, and climb his tree. He'd listen to the forest, feel the cool air, and let his eyes close. It was like the forest was saying, "Good night, Edric, rest now." Let's talk about why this story matters. Today, we sometimes make sleep hard. We stay up late looking at screens or thinking about school or work. We worry about getting enough sleep, and that makes it harder to sleep. But Edric didn't worry. He didn't have a phone to keep him up. He didn't have a clock ticking loudly. He had the forest, the trees, the stars. He let them help him sleep, and they did every night. Sleeping in a tree sounds funny, but it was perfect for Edric. The branch was his bed, steady and strong. The leaves were his blanket, soft and green. The stars were his light, twinkling gently. He didn't need more than that. He didn't need a big house or a soft mattress. He had the forest, and it was enough. Let's picture the forest one more time. It's night now, and the sky is dark. The trees are tall and quiet, their branches swaying just a little. The air is cool, and it smells like pine and earth. Somewhere a stream is bubbling. Somewhere an owl is hooting, soft and low. And up in a tree, Edric is sleeping. His blanket is wrapped around him, his head is resting on the trunk, and he's breathing slowly. The forest is watching over him, keeping him safe. You can feel that too. Wherever you are, you can imagine the forest. You can imagine the trees, the stars, the quiet. You can let your eyes close, let your breathing slow, let the world get soft and calm. This story is for you, to help you rest, to help you feel cozy. You don't have to do anything. Just listen, just breathe, just let the words carry you. Let's think about Edric one last time. He's in his tree, high above the ground. His blanket is snug, his eyes are closed, and he's dreaming. Maybe he's dreaming of a deer running through the forest. Maybe he's dreaming of the stars shining bright. Whatever he's dreaming, he's peaceful. The forest is holding him, the night is soft, and he's asleep. You can be like Edric. You can let the night hold you. You can let your blanket keep you warm. You can listen to the quiet wherever you are and let it help you sleep. This story is your forest, your tree, your stars. It's here to help you rest, to help you drift off, to help you feel safe. So wherever you are, whatever time it is, know that I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you're listening. I'm happy you're getting cozy. Let's keep going with this story, slow and gentle, until you're ready to sleep. For now, just breathe, just listen, just let the world be soft and quiet. Good night, friend. Let's talk about those hunters and their trees, and let's drift off together. Let's start with a quiet picture in your mind. Close your eyes just a little and imagine a big, big forest. The trees are tall, so tall they seem to touch the sky. Their leaves are green and soft, moving gently in the wind. The air smells fresh, like pine trees and dirt after rain. The ground is covered in soft moss, like a big, squishy rug. Somewhere nearby, a little stream makes a bubbling sound, like it's singing a soft song. This is the world we're going to talk about tonight. a world from long, long ago called the medieval times. That's just a fancy way of saying hundreds and hundreds of years ago, when life was very different. Back then, there were no cars zooming down roads. There were no bright lights or loud TVs. There were no phones buzzing or computers glowing. Instead, there were forests, big, wide forests that went on forever. The air was clean and the world was quiet. People lived close to nature, like friends with the trees and the animals. In these forests, hunters lived. They weren't like hunters today with fancy gear or trucks. These hunters walked through the woods with just a bow, a knife, and a small sack. They looked for deer or wild pigs, called boars, to bring food back to their villages. These hunters didn't live in houses like we do. They didn't have soft beds with fluffy pillows or warm blankets fresh from a dryer. Their home was the forest. Their bed was a tree branch. Can you imagine that? Sleeping high up in a tree with the leaves all around you like a big green blanket. It sounds funny, but it was their way of life. They loved the forest, and the forest loved them back. It kept them safe, gave them food, and helped them sleep. Let's picture the forest some more. The trees are strong with thick trunks and wide branches. Some are oak trees, big and sturdy. Others are pine trees, tall and skinny, with needles that smell sharp and fresh. The ground is soft with leaves and moss, and little flowers peek out here and there. You can hear birds chirping, not loud but soft, like they're whispering to each other. A squirrel might run by carrying a nut, its tail bouncing. Far away, a deer steps quietly, nibbling on grass. This forest is alive, but it's calm, like a big, quiet hug. The hunters lived by the rhythm of the forest. That means they followed its patterns, like a song that never stops. In the morning, the sun would rise and the forest would wake up. Birds would sing and the air would feel cool and fresh. The hunters would wake up too, stretching and yawning on their tree branches. During the day, they'd walk through the woods, looking for animals or checking traps. They moved slowly, carefully, like they were part of the forest. At night, when the sun went down, the forest got quiet again. The hunters would climb their trees, wrap up in their blankets, and sleep under the stars. There were no clocks back then. Nobody looked at a watch or a phone to know what time it was. Instead, they looked at the sky. When the sun was high, it was daytime. When the stars came out, it was nighttime. The hunters didn't rush. They didn't worry about being late. They just followed the forest's rhythm like a slow, steady heartbeat. The wind would blow, the leaves would rustle, and the hunters would know it was time to rest. Let's think about what it was like to be a hunter. You'd wake up in a tree with the leaves brushing your face. The air would feel cool, maybe a little damp from the morning dew. You'd climb down, your boots crunching on the leaves below. You'd carry your bow and your sack, and you'd start walking. The forest was your home, your playground, your everything. You'd look for signs of animals, maybe a footprint in the mud or a branch that was broken. You'd listen for sounds, like a deer stepping on twigs. You'd move quietly, so you didn't scare the animals away. The hunters didn't have stores to buy food. They couldn't go to a fridge or a supermarket. They found their food in the forest. If they caught a deer or a rabbit, they'd bring it back to the village where everyone would share it. They'd eat simple things like meat cooked over a fire or plants they found like berries or herbs. Sometimes they'd make a soup called pottage with whatever they had. It wasn't fancy, but it was warm and good, and it filled their bellies. Sleeping in trees was a big part of their life. Why did they do it? Well, the forest wasn't always safe on the ground. There could be wolves or bears sniffing around at night. There could be rain or mud making the ground wet and cold. But up in a tree, the hunters were safe. The branches held them like a cradle, and the leaves kept them hidden. It was like the tree was their friend saying, "Come up here, I'll keep you safe." They'd find a strong branch, wide enough to sit on and settle in for the night. Let's imagine you're a hunter for a moment. You're in the forest and the sun is going down. The sky is turning pink and purple like a soft painting. You find a big oak tree with a wide branch that looks just right. You climb up step by step, holding the rough bark. It feels solid under your hands, like it's been there forever. You reach the branch and sit down, leaning against the trunk. You pull your blanket around you. It's made of wool, a little scratchy but warm. The leaves above you rustle, making a soft sound like a whisper. The air smells like pine and earth, and you feel safe, cozy, like you're part of the tree. The forest had its own sounds, especially at night. You'd hear the wind blowing gently through the trees. It wasn't loud, just soft, like someone breathing. You'd hear crickets chirping in a steady rhythm, like a tiny band playing a lullaby. Sometimes an owl would hoot, its voice low and far away. A stream might bubble nearby, making a calm, happy sound. These noises weren't scary. They were comforting, like the forest was singing you to sleep. The hunters didn't have much stuff. They didn't have closets full of clothes or rooms full of toys. They had a bow, a knife, a sack, and maybe a blanket. That was it, but they didn't need more. The forest gave them everything: food, shelter, a place to rest. They didn't worry about having the best things. They just lived day by day, following the forest's rhythm. They worked hard, walking and hunting, but they also rested hard, sleeping in their trees. Let's talk about the seasons, because they were a big part of the hunters' lives. In spring, the forest was bright and green. New leaves grew on the trees and flowers popped up everywhere. The air was warm and the hunters could find lots of animals, like baby deer or rabbits. In summer, the forest was hot and full of bugs, but the trees gave shade and the streams were cool to drink from. In fall, the leaves turned red and gold, falling to the ground like a big, colorful blanket. The hunters would gather nuts and berries to eat. In winter, the forest was cold and quiet, with snow on the ground. The hunters would wrap their blankets tighter and pick trees with thick leaves to stay warm. Each season had its own feel, its own sounds. In spring, the birds sang all day. In summer, the crickets were loud at night. In fall, the leaves crunched underfoot. In winter, the wind howled, but softly, like it was telling a story. The hunters knew these seasons like friends. They knew when to hunt, when to gather, when to rest. They didn't fight the seasons, they moved with them like dancing to a slow song. Let's think about the sky for a minute. The hunters didn't have streetlights or big cities to block the stars. At night, the sky was full of them, twinkling like little candles. The moon would glow, sometimes big and round, sometimes thin like a smile. The hunters would look up from their trees and see the stars, and it made them feel small but safe. The sky was like a big blanket covering the whole forest. It told them it was time to sleep, time to dream. Dreams were important to the hunters. They thought dreams were like messages from the forest. If they dreamed of a deer, they might think it was good luck for hunting. If they dreamed of a storm, they'd be careful the next day. Dreams were part of their life, like the trees and the animals. They didn't have books or movies, so dreams were their stories, their way of thinking about the world. The hunters' lives were simple, but they were full. They didn't have a lot of things, but they had the forest. They didn't have big houses, but they had trees. They didn't have clocks, but they had the sun and stars. They worked hard, but they also rested hard. They didn't worry about tomorrow the way we do. They just lived one day at a time, one night at a time, sleeping in their trees. Let's picture the forest at night again. The sun is gone and the sky is dark. The stars are out, shining softly. The trees stand tall, their branches swaying just a little. The air is cool and it smells like pine and dirt. You hear a soft sound, maybe a cricket, maybe a frog, maybe the wind. It's not loud, just gentle, like a whisper. Somewhere in the forest, a hunter is climbing a tree. He's tired from a long day, but he's happy. He finds his branch, wraps his blanket around him, and looks up at the stars. He's safe, cozy, ready to sleep. The hunters didn't have perfect lives. Sometimes it rained and they got wet. Sometimes they didn't catch any animals and they went hungry. Sometimes the wind was cold and their blankets weren't warm enough, but they didn't give up. They kept going day after day, night after night. They knew the forest would take care of them. They knew the trees would hold them. They knew sleep would come no matter what. Let's talk about why the hunters slept so well. Today we sometimes have trouble sleeping. We stay up late looking at phones or thinking about school or work. We worry about getting enough sleep and that makes it harder. But the hunters didn't worry. They didn't have screens to keep them awake. They didn't have clocks ticking loudly. They had the forest and the forest was their friend. The trees gave them a place to rest. The stars gave them light. The sounds of the forest, crickets, wind, streams were like a lullaby. Sleeping in a tree might sound strange, but it was perfect for the hunters. The branch was their bed, strong and steady. The leaves were their roof, keeping out the rain. The blanket was their warmth, soft and snug. They didn't need more than that. They didn't need a big house or a fancy bed. They had the forest, and it was enough. Let's imagine you're in the forest now. You're sitting on a tree branch high above the ground. The trunk is behind you, solid and strong. Your blanket is wrapped around you, keeping you warm. The leaves are above you, rustling softly. The air smells like pine and earth, fresh and clean. You hear a cricket chirping, a stream bubbling, an owl hooting far away. The stars are shining through the leaves, twinkling just for you. You take a deep breath and your eyes feel heavy. You're safe, cozy, ready to rest. That's what the hunters felt every night. They didn't have to try to sleep. They didn't count sheep or worry about tomorrow. They just climbed their tree, wrapped up in their blanket, and let the forest take care of them. The wind would blow, the leaves would rustle, and their eyes would close. They'd sleep deeply, like a baby in a cradle held by the trees. The forest was their home, but it was more than that. It was their friend, their protector, their lullaby. They didn't fight the forest, they lived with it. They listened to its sounds, followed its seasons, slept in its trees. They were part of it like the deer or the birds or the streams. They didn't need more than that. They had everything they needed right there in the forest. Let's think about the trees for a moment. They were so important to the hunters. The trees gave them food like nuts or berries. They gave them wood for fires to stay warm. They gave them branches to sleep on. The hunters knew which trees were best for sleeping, big, strong ones with wide branches like oak or maple. They'd climb up, find a spot, and settle in. The tree was like a big, strong friend holding them tight. The hunters didn't have schools or offices or busy schedules. Their work was the forest. They hunted, they gathered, they walked. They didn't have bosses telling them what to do. They didn't have homework or emails. They just lived day by day, following the sun and the stars. When they were tired, they didn't fight it. They found a tree, climbed up, and slept. It was simple, but it was good. Let's picture the forest one more time. It's daytime now, and the sun is shining through the trees. The leaves are green, sparkling with dew. A bird is singing, soft and sweet. A squirrel runs up a tree, chattering. You're walking through the forest, your feet crunching on leaves. You feel the cool air on your face, and you smell the pine trees. You find a big tree with a wide branch, and you know it's a good place to rest. You climb up, slow and careful, and sit down. The branch is strong, the leaves are soft, and the forest is quiet. You feel safe, like the forest is hugging you. That's what life was like for the hunters. It wasn't always easy, but it was simple. They didn't have a lot, but they had enough. They had the forest, the trees, the stars. They had their blankets and their bows. They had their quiet nights high in the trees where they could sleep and dream. They didn't worry about tomorrow. They just lived one day at a time, one night at a time. Now, as you listen to this, maybe you're feeling sleepy. Maybe your eyes are getting heavy like they want to close. That's good. That's what this story is for. It's here to help you relax, to help you feel cozy, to help you drift off. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to think hard or worry. Just listen to the words like they're leaves rustling in the wind. Let them carry you like a stream carrying a leaf. The hunters' world was different from ours, but it was beautiful. They lived with the forest, not against it. They followed its rhythm like a slow, gentle song. They slept in trees, wrapped in blankets under the stars. They didn't need more than that. They didn't need perfect beds or big houses. They had the forest, and it was enough. So let's stay in this forest a little longer. Let's imagine the trees tall and strong. Let's imagine the leaves soft and green. Let's imagine the stars twinkling above. Let's imagine a hunter high in a tree wrapped in a blanket, sleeping peacefully. The forest is quiet, the air is cool, and the world is calm. You can feel that too. You can let the forest hug you, let the stars watch you, let the quiet help you rest. This is just the start of our story. We're going to meet a hunter named Edric soon, and we'll follow him through his day. But for now, let's stay here in this quiet forest with the trees and the stars. Let's let the world be soft and slow, like a gentle breeze. You're safe here, cozy here, ready to rest. Let's keep going nice and easy as the leaves rustle softly overhead. Let's meet someone special. His name is Edric, and he's a hunter who lived a long, long time ago in a big, quiet forest. Picture a man who's not too tall, not too big, but strong in a wiry way like a tough piece of rope. His hands are rough, like the bark of an old oak tree, because he's always climbing trees or holding his bow. His beard is messy, full of tangles, like a bird's nest. His eyes are soft, always half closed, like he's ready to nap any moment. Edric loves the forest more than anything. He loves it more than noisy village taverns where people laugh and talk. He loves it more than busy markets or crowded houses. The forest is his home, and he's happy there, quiet and cozy, like a cat curled up in a warm sunbeam. Edric carries just a few things. He has a small sack, not much bigger than a lunch bag, tied to his belt. Inside, there's some bread, maybe a bit of cheese, and a few nuts he found in the woods. He has a bow carved from strong wood with a string that hums when he pulls it. He has a few arrows, sharp and ready for hunting deer or rabbits. And he has a blanket made of wool, a little scratchy but warm. That's all he needs. He doesn't want fancy clothes or shiny things. His heart is full of quiet thoughts, like how the wind sounds or where the deer hide. At night, he finds a sturdy tree, climbs up high, and curls up on a branch. He wraps his blanket around him, and the world gets soft and far away. He's sleepy, always a little sleepy, but he's happy, like he's dreaming even before he falls asleep. Let's picture Edric in the forest. It's a big place with tall trees that reach up to the sky. The leaves are green, swaying gently like they're dancing. The ground is covered in soft moss like a big, squishy rug. Edric walks through the forest, his boots crunching on leaves. He moves slow, quiet, like a shadow. His eyes look around, noticing everything: a bird in a tree, a footprint in the dirt, a twig that snapped. He knows the forest like you know your bedroom. He knows which trees are strong, which paths lead to water, which spots have the best berries. The forest is his friend, and he loves every bit of it. Edric's favorite thing is climbing trees. Not just any trees, but the big ones with wide branches that feel safe. He picks trees like oak or maple with rough bark that's easy to grip. He climbs up step by step, his hands holding tight. When he finds a good branch, he sits down, leaning against the trunk. It's like a chair made just for him. He pulls his blanket around his shoulders, tucks it under his legs, and sighs. The leaves rustle above him, soft and gentle. The air smells like pine and dirt, fresh and cool. He looks up, and the stars are twinkling through the leaves like little lights just for him. That's when Edric feels happiest, high in his tree, ready to sleep. Let's think about what Edric looks like. His clothes are simple, made of rough cloth, patched in places because they get torn in the woods. His shirt is brown like the dirt, so he blends in with the forest. His pants are tied with a rope belt, and his boots are worn but sturdy. His beard is long and scruffy, with bits of leaves stuck in it sometimes because he's always brushing against trees. His hair is messy too, like he never combs it. But his eyes, oh, his eyes are kind. They're brown like the forest floor, and they're always half closed, like he's dreaming even when he's awake. When he smiles, it's small and soft, like he's sharing a secret with the trees. Edric's life is simple, but it's good. He wakes up in the morning, high in his tree when the sun starts to shine. He stretches, yawns, and climbs down, his boots hitting the ground with a soft thud. He eats a little bread from his sack, maybe some berries he found. Then he starts his day walking through the forest looking for animals. He's a hunter, so he looks for deer or rabbits or wild pigs. He moves quietly so he doesn't scare them. He checks traps he set, little snares made of rope to catch small animals. He's patient, like the forest itself, waiting for the right moment. When the day is done, Edric is tired, but it's a good tired. His legs ache from walking, his arms are sore from carrying his bow. He finds a tree, his favorite kind, and climbs up. He doesn't rush. He takes his time, feeling the bark under his hands, listening to the leaves. When he gets to his branch, he settles in like a bird in a nest. He wraps his blanket tight, looks at the stars, and lets his eyes close. The forest is quiet, and he's ready to sleep. He's sleepy, always a little sleepy, but that's okay. It makes him feel calm, like the world is soft and kind. Let's imagine you're with Edric for a moment. You're in the forest and it's getting dark. The sky is turning purple and the stars are coming out one by one. You follow Edric to a big oak tree, its branches wide and strong. He starts to climb and you climb too. The bark is rough, but it feels safe, like it won't let you fall. You reach a branch and Edric is there, smiling his small smile. He shows you how to sit, how to lean against the trunk. You pull your blanket around you. It's a little scratchy, but warm. The leaves above you make a soft sound like a whisper. Edric points to the stars twinkling through the leaves. "Look," he says, his voice quiet. "The sky's watching us." You feel safe, cozy, like you're part of the forest, too. Edric loves the forest because it's his home. He doesn't like villages much. They're loud with people talking and animals clucking. The forest is quiet, except for the good sounds, birds, wind, streams. He feels free in the forest, like he can breathe deep. He knows every tree, every path, every little spot where the sun shines through. He knows where the deer drink, where the rabbits hide, where the berries grow. The forest is like a big map in his head, and he never gets lost. Let's talk about Edric's blanket. It's not like the soft blankets you might have, with fun colors or patterns. His blanket is plain, made of wool from sheep. It's heavy and a little rough, but it keeps him warm. Sometimes it has holes because it gets caught on branches. Edric doesn't mind. He patches it with bits of cloth or just wraps it tighter. When he climbs his tree at night, he pulls the blanket over his shoulders, tucks it under his legs, and ties it with a rope so it won't slip. That blanket is like a hug, keeping him cozy while the cool forest air brushes his face. Edric's sack is special, too. It's small, made of rough cloth, and it hangs from his belt. Inside, he keeps simple things. There's bread hard and crusty that lasts for days. There's cheese wrapped in a cloth, a little crumbly but good. Sometimes he has nuts or dried berries, gifts from the forest. He doesn't carry much because he doesn't need much. The forest gives him food, water, and a place to sleep. His sack is just enough to keep him going day after day. Let's think about Edric's bow. It's not shiny or new. It's made of wood, smooth from years of use. He carved it himself long ago from a strong branch. The string is tight, made from animal hide, and it makes a soft twang when he pulls it. His arrows are simple too, with sharp stone tips and feathers on the ends to make them fly straight. Edric carries his bow everywhere, slung over his shoulder. It's his tool, his way to hunt, his way to live. But he's gentle with it, like it's a friend. He checks it every day, making sure it's strong, ready for the next hunt. Edric's days are busy, but they're calm. He wakes up in his tree when the sun peeks through the leaves. He climbs down, eats a little, and starts walking. He looks for tracks, maybe a deer's hoofprint or a rabbit's tiny marks. He sets traps, little loops of rope hidden in the grass. He moves quietly so the animals don't hear him. Sometimes he sits still for a long time, watching, waiting. He's patient, like the trees, like the forest. He doesn't get mad if he doesn't catch anything. He just tries again tomorrow. At night, Edric is ready to rest. He's tired, but it's a good tired, like when you've played outside all day. His legs are heavy, his eyes are droopy. He finds a tree, maybe the same one as last night, maybe a new one. He climbs up, slow and steady, feeling the bark under his hands. He finds a wide branch, sits down, and leans against the trunk. He pulls his blanket around him, tucks it tight, and looks up at the sky. The stars are out, twinkling softly. The leaves rustle, the wind whispers, and Edric's eyes close. He's sleepy, always a little sleepy, but he's happy, like a cat napping in the sun. Let's picture Edric's tree. It's a big oak with a thick trunk and branches that spread out like arms. The bark is rough with deep lines like wrinkles on an old face. The leaves are wide, green, and soft, making a canopy over Edric's head. The branch he sits on is wide like a bench, and it feels strong, like it could hold him forever. He leans against the trunk, and it's solid, like a wall that won't move. The tree smells like wood and sap, a little sticky but nice. It's Edric's bed, his safe place, his home. The forest is full of sounds, and Edric loves them all. During the day, he hears birds singing, their voices high and sweet. He hears squirrels chattering, running up trees. He hears the wind blowing through the leaves, making them dance. At night, the sounds change. The birds get quiet, but the crickets start chirping like a tiny band. An owl hoots far away, its voice low and soft. A stream bubbles nearby, making a calm, happy sound. These sounds are like a lullaby for Edric. They tell him it's time to rest, time to sleep. Edric's life isn't fancy, but it's good. He doesn't have a big house or lots of things. He has his sack, his bow, his blanket, and the forest. That's enough. He doesn't want more. He doesn't need gold or shiny clothes. He needs the trees, the animals, the stars. He needs his quiet thoughts, his sleepy eyes, his cozy branch. He's happy, like a cat in a sunbeam, curled up in content. Let's imagine Edric's day for a moment. He wakes up in his tree, the sun shining through the leaves. He yawns big and loud like a bear. He stretches, his arms reaching up, his legs dangling over the branch. He climbs down, his boots crunching on the leaves below. He eats a piece of bread, chews some nuts, and takes a sip of water from a stream. Then he starts walking, his bow over his shoulder, his sack bouncing at his side. He looks for animal tracks, listens for sounds, sets his traps. He's quiet, like the forest, moving slow and careful. When the sun starts to set, Edric knows it's time to rest. The sky turns pink and purple like a soft blanket over the forest. He finds a tree, climbs up, and settles on a branch. He wraps his blanket around him, ties it with a rope, and leans back. The leaves rustle, the stars shine, and the forest is quiet. Edric's eyes get heavy, his breathing slows, and he drifts off. He's sleepy, always a little sleepy, but that's okay. It's part of who he is. Let's talk about Edric's dreams. He believes dreams are special, like messages from the forest. If he dreams of a deer, he thinks it means good hunting tomorrow. If he dreams of a storm, he'll be careful watching the sky. His dreams are full of the forest, trees, animals, streams. They're not loud or scary. They're soft like the leaves, like the wind. When he wakes up, he thinks about his dreams, but he doesn't worry. They're just part of his life, like his bow or his blanket. Edric isn't alone in the forest, even though he likes the quiet. Sometimes other hunters are nearby, climbing their own trees to sleep. Sometimes animals are close, a fox sniffing around, a deer walking by, a bird nesting above. Edric doesn't mind. He feels like they're all part of the same big family, sharing the forest. He's never lonely because the trees are his friends, the stars are his lights, and the forest is his home. Let's picture Edric one more time. He's in his tree high above the ground. His blanket is wrapped around him warm and snug. His bow is tucked close, his sack tied to the branch. The leaves are rustling, soft and gentle. The stars are shining, twinkling through the leaves. The air is cool, smelling like pine and dirt. Edric's eyes are half closed, his breathing slow. He's sleepy, always a little sleepy, but he's happy. The forest is holding him like a big, cozy hug. As you listen to this, maybe you're feeling sleepy too. Maybe your eyes are getting heavy like Edric's. That's good. This story is for you to help you feel calm and cozy. You don't have to do anything. Just listen to the words like they're leaves rustling in the wind. Imagine you're in Edric's tree, wrapped in a blanket, looking at the stars. The forest is quiet, the air is cool, and you're safe. Let's keep going, slow and gentle, as we follow Edric through his day, high in his tree, ready to sleep. The forest is quiet, just before the sun comes up. The sky is soft and gray like a fluffy blanket. Then slowly it starts to change. A little pink creeps in like a shy smile. The leaves on the trees glow just a bit as the light touches them. This is when Edric, our hunter, wakes up. He's high in his tree, curled up on a wide branch, wrapped in his wool blanket. His eyes open, slow and sleepy like a turtle peeking out of its shell. He doesn't jump up or hurry. He moves slow like a snail sliding along a leaf. The morning is gentle, and so is Edric, like the forest is giving him a big, warm hug. Edric stretches, his arms reaching up, his fingers brushing the leaves above. His boots scrape against the rough bark of the tree, making a soft scratching sound. He yawns big and wide like a bear waking up from a long nap. His breath comes out in little puffs like tiny clouds because the morning air is chilly. The forest is waking up too. Birds start to chirp, their voices small and sweet like a little song. A squirrel runs up a nearby tree, chattering like it's scolding someone for waking it up. The leaves rustle soft and quiet as a breeze moves through. Edric listens, his eyes half closed, still sleepy but happy. He rubs his eyes with his rough hands, blinking at the pink sky. There's no rush, no hurry. Edric doesn't have a clock ticking or a phone buzzing. He doesn't have to run to catch a bus or get to school. He just sits on his branch for a moment, looking out at the forest. The trees are tall, their branches spreading out like big arms. The ground below is covered in leaves and moss, soft like a carpet. A little stream sparkles nearby, bubbling over rocks like it's whispering good morning. Edric smiles, small and quiet, because mornings in the forest are gentle, like a hug from the earth. Let's picture Edric in his tree. He's sitting on a wide branch, his back against the trunk. His blanket is still around his shoulders, keeping him warm. His bow is tied to the branch with a rope so it won't fall. His small sack is there too, holding his bread and nuts. The leaves above him are green with bits of pink light shining through. The air smells fresh like pine trees and wet dirt. Edric takes a deep breath, filling his lungs with cool air. His eyes are still heavy, but he's awake, ready to start his day slow and easy. Edric starts to climb down, careful and steady. He grabs the branch below, his hands gripping the rough bark. His boots find little bumps on the tree like steps made just for him. He moves down one step at a time, not rushing. The tree is strong, holding him tight like a friend who won't let him fall. When he gets to the ground, his boots land with a soft crunch on the leaves. The sound is quiet, like the forest is still half asleep. Edric stands there for a moment, looking around, letting the forest wake him up. The forest is full of little noises now. The birds are singing louder, their voices bouncing from tree to tree. A squirrel darts across the ground, its tail bouncing like a fluffy flag. Somewhere far away, a deer steps through the bushes, its hooves soft on the moss. The stream keeps bubbling, steady and calm, like a lullaby that never stops. Edric listens to all these sounds, and they make him feel at home. The forest is his world, and he knows every part of it, like you know your favorite book or toy. Edric takes his sack and slings his bow over his shoulder. He starts walking, his boots crunching on the leaves. He doesn't go fast. He moves slow, like the forest itself, taking his time. His first job is to check his snares. Snares are little traps he makes with rope, hidden in the grass or near a bush. They're for catching small animals like rabbits so he can bring food back to the village. Edric walks to the first snare, his eyes looking at the ground, searching for signs. He sees a twig that's bent, a patch of dirt that's disturbed. He knows the forest so well, he can tell if something's different. Let's imagine you're walking with Edric. You're in the forest and the morning is cool and quiet. Your boots crunch on the leaves just like his. The air smells like pine and earth, fresh and clean. You see the tall trees all around, their branches swaying softly. You hear the birds chirping happily and the stream bubbling nearby. Edric points to a spot on the ground where he set a snare. It's just a loop of rope tied to a stick hidden in the grass. He checks it carefully, moving slow like he's petting a sleepy cat. The snare is empty today, but Edric doesn't mind. He just smiles and moves on, calm and patient. Edric's mornings are always like this, slow, quiet, gentle. He doesn't run or shout. He doesn't worry about being late or doing everything perfect. He just walks, checks his snares, and listens to the forest. Sometimes he finds a rabbit in a snare and he's happy because it means food for the village. Sometimes the snares are empty, and that's okay too. He'll try again tomorrow. The forest teaches him to be patient, to take things one step at a time, like a turtle moving across a rock. Let's think about the forest in the morning. The sun is higher now and the pink sky is turning blue. The light filters through the leaves, making little spots of gold on the ground. The trees stand tall, their trunks like big pillars holding up the sky. The moss is soft under your feet like a big green pillow. You see little flowers, white and yellow, peeking out from the grass. A butterfly flutters by, its wings catching the light. The forest feels alive but calm, like it's stretching and yawning, just like Edric. Edric stops by the stream to take a drink. He kneels down, cups his hands, and scoops up the water. It's cold and clear, like drinking from a glass of ice. He splashes some on his face and it wakes him up a little more. His beard gets wet and he shakes his head like a dog after a bath. He laughs, a soft, quiet laugh, because the forest makes him happy. The stream keeps bubbling, steady and gentle, like it's saying, "Good morning, Edric, glad you're here." Let's picture the stream. It's small, winding through the trees like a shiny ribbon. The water sparkles in the sunlight, clear and bright. Little rocks sit in the stream, smooth from years of water running over them. Tiny fish dart back and forth, quick as a blink. The sound of the water is soft, like a whisper, like a song that never ends. Edric sits by the stream for a moment, just listening. He doesn't have to hurry. The forest doesn't rush, and neither does he. Edric eats a little breakfast now. He sits on a rock, opens his sack, and pulls out a piece of bread. It's hard and crusty, not soft like the bread you might eat. He chews it slowly, breaking off small pieces. He finds a few nuts in his sack too and cracks them with his hands. The nuts are sweet, a gift from the forest. He eats them one by one, taking his time, enjoying the taste. The forest is quiet around him, except for the birds and the stream. It's like the world is giving him a moment to just be, to just breathe. Let's imagine you're sitting with Edric eating breakfast. You're on a rock too, with the stream bubbling nearby. You have a piece of bread, crusty but good. You chew it slowly like Edric, letting the forest wrap around you. The air is cool, the sun is warm, and the trees are tall. You hear a bird sing, a squirrel chatter, the wind whisper. You feel calm, like you don't have to do anything but sit here with Edric in this quiet morning. It's like the forest is hugging you, soft and gentle. Edric finishes his breakfast and stands up. He stretches again, his arms reaching high like he's trying to touch the sky. His blanket is folded and tied to his belt next to his sack. His bow is over his shoulder, his arrows in a little bundle. He's ready to keep going, to check more snares, to walk through the forest. He moves slow, his boots crunching on the leaves, his eyes looking around. He's not in a hurry. The forest doesn't hurry, and neither does he. The morning is getting brighter now. The sun is climbing higher and the forest is full of light. The leaves glow green and shiny like they're happy to see the day. The birds are louder, singing songs that bounce through the trees. A squirrel runs up a trunk, its claws scratching the bark. Edric watches it and smiles. He likes the squirrels even when they're noisy. They're part of the forest just like him. Edric checks another snare hidden near a bush. He kneels down, moving the grass with his hands, gentle as a breeze. The snare is empty again, but he doesn't frown. He just fixes the rope, making sure it's ready for next time. He stands up, brushes the dirt off his hands, and keeps walking. The forest is big, and there are more snares to check, more paths to follow. Edric knows them all, like you know the way to your kitchen or your favorite spot in the yard. Let's walk with Edric again. You're following him, your boots crunching on the leaves. The forest smells fresh, like pine and wet moss. You see tall trees all around, their branches making a canopy like a big umbrella. The sunlight peeks through, making little patches of light on the ground. You hear the stream still bubbling and the birds still singing. Edric points to a tree with a wide branch high up. "That's a good one for sleeping," he says, his voice soft. You nod, imagining climbing up there, curling up with a blanket, looking at the stars. Edric's mornings are always like this, slow, quiet, peaceful. He doesn't have a list of things to do or a clock to watch. He just follows the forest like it's telling him what to do. If the sun is up, he walks. If the birds are singing, he listens. If the snares are empty, he tries again tomorrow. He's patient, like the trees, like the stream, like the forest itself. He knows the forest will take care of him, just like it always does. The forest is full of little things to see. Edric notices them all. He sees a spider web sparkling with dew stretched between two branches. He sees a mushroom, small and brown, growing at the base of a tree. He sees a bird's nest high up with tiny eggs inside. He doesn't touch these things, he just looks, like he's saying hello to old friends. The forest is his home, and he loves every part of it, from the big trees to the tiny bugs. Let's think about the air in the forest. It's cool in the morning, like a cold drink on a hot day. It smells clean, like pine needles and wet dirt. When Edric breathes, he feels the air fill his chest, waking him up gently. His breath makes little clouds because the morning is chilly. He pulls his blanket tighter for a moment, then folds it and ties it to his belt. He's warm enough now, with the sun climbing higher, warming the forest like a cozy blanket. Edric keeps walking, checking more snares. He finds one with a rabbit, small and soft, caught in the rope. He kneels down, gentle as can be, and frees the rabbit carefully. He puts it in his sack, knowing it will feed someone in the village. He's happy, but he doesn't cheer or shout. He just smiles, quiet and calm like the forest. He resets the snare, making sure it's ready for another day, and keeps going. The forest is his work, his home, his friend. The morning is moving along now, and the forest is wide awake. The sun is bright, the sky is blue, and the trees are glowing. The birds are singing louder, like they're having a party. A squirrel runs across Edric's path, dropping a nut and chattering like it's mad. Edric laughs soft and low because the forest is always full of surprises. He likes that. It makes every morning a little different, even though it's always the same, slow, gentle, quiet. Let's imagine you're still with Edric. You're walking through the forest, your boots crunching on the leaves. You see a big tree with a wide branch, and you think about climbing it tonight like Edric does. You imagine sitting up there, wrapped in a blanket, looking at the stars. The forest feels safe, like a big hug. The birds are singing, the stream is bubbling, and Edric is nearby, checking his snares. You feel calm, like you could stay here forever, just walking, just listening, just being. Edric's mornings aren't like ours. We might wake up to an alarm, rush to get dressed, grab breakfast, and run out the door. But Edric doesn't rush. He wakes up with the sun, stretches slow, and listens to the forest. He eats his bread, drinks from the stream, and walks through the trees. He checks his snares, looks for tracks, and moves with the rhythm of the forest, like a slow, gentle dance. He doesn't worry about being late or doing everything right. He just lives one moment at a time, one step at a time. The forest is Edric's world, and he loves it. He loves the tall trees, the soft moss, the bubbling stream. He loves the birds, the squirrels, the deer. He loves the quiet mornings when the world is just waking up. He loves climbing his tree at night, curling up on a branch and sleeping under the stars. His life is simple, but it's good. He doesn't need more than his bow, his sack, his blanket, and the forest. Let's picture the forest one more time. The sun is up, the sky is blue, and the trees are glowing with light. The leaves rustle, soft and gentle, like a whisper. The birds sing, the stream bubbles, and a squirrel chatters nearby. Edric is walking, his boots crunching, his bow over his shoulder. He's checking his snares, moving slow like the forest itself. The air is cool, the light is warm, and the world is quiet. It's a new day, and Edric is ready, calm, and happy, like the forest is hugging him. As you listen to this, maybe you're feeling sleepy. Maybe your eyes are getting heavy like Edric's when he wakes up. That's okay. This story is for you to help you feel cozy and calm. You don't have to do anything. Just listen to the words like they're leaves rustling in the wind. Imagine you're in the forest with Edric, walking through the trees, hearing the birds, feeling the cool air. The morning is gentle, like a hug from the earth, and you're safe, ready to rest. The forest is quiet now, with the sun climbing higher in the sky. It's not morning anymore, but it's not quite afternoon yet. The light filters through the green leaves, making little patches of gold on the ground. Edric, our hunter, is walking through the trees, his boots crunching softly on the leaves. He moves slow, like a turtle crossing a path, not rushing at all. Hunting isn't just about running after animals or shooting arrows. It's about small, careful jobs one at a time, like putting pebbles in a neat pile by a stream. Edric likes these jobs. They're simple, and they make him feel calm, like the forest is his friend helping him along. Edric's day is full of tiny tasks, and he does them one by one, slow and steady. First, he checks his traps. These are little snares he makes with rope, hidden in the grass or near a bush. They're for catching small animals like rabbits, so he can bring food to the village. He kneels down by a snare, his hands gentle, moving the grass to see if anything's there. The rope is tight, the stick holding it is firm, but the snare is empty today. Edric doesn't frown or get mad. He just fixes the rope, making sure it's ready for tomorrow, and stands up, brushing dirt off his hands. The forest is patient, and so is he, like a tree waiting for rain. Let's picture Edric at work. He's in the forest, surrounded by tall trees with wide branches. The air smells like pine and wet dirt, fresh and clean. His sack hangs from his belt, bouncing as he walks. His bow is over his shoulder and his blanket is tied tight, ready for later. He's wearing his rough brown shirt and pants, patched from climbing trees. His beard is messy, with a leaf stuck in it, but he doesn't care. His eyes are half closed, sleepy as always, but he's focused, looking at the ground, watching for signs of animals. The forest is quiet, except for the chirping birds and the soft rustle of leaves. It's like the world is whispering, "Take your time, Edric." Edric's next task is sharpening his knife. He sits on a flat rock near a little stream that bubbles happily. He pulls his knife from his belt. It's small, with a wooden handle worn smooth from years of use. The blade is sharp, but Edric likes to keep it perfect. He picks up a smooth stone from the stream, wet and cool in his hand. He slides the stone along the blade, slow and careful, making a soft scraping sound. Scrape, scrape, scrape. The sound is steady, like a heartbeat, and it makes Edric feel calm. He doesn't rush. He moves the stone back and forth, watching the blade shine in the sunlight. The forest watches too, its leaves swaying gently like it's nodding along. Let's imagine you're sitting with Edric, watching him sharpen his knife. You're on a rock too, feeling the cool air on your face. The stream is bubbling nearby and you hear its soft song. You see Edric's hands rough like tree bark, moving the stone along the knife. Scrape, scrape, scrape. The sound is quiet, soothing like a lullaby. You look around and the forest is green and peaceful. Tall trees stand all around, their leaves making a canopy like a big umbrella. A bird sings above, its voice sweet and small. You feel calm, like you could sit here forever, just watching, just listening. Edric finishes sharpening his knife and slips it back into his belt. He stands up, stretches his arms, and yawns. His shoulders are starting to ache just a little from carrying his bow and walking all morning. His legs feel heavy, like they're made of wood, but he doesn't stop. He has more tasks to do, one at a time, slow and steady. The forest doesn't hurry, and neither does he. It's like the trees are saying, "Keep going, Edric, but take your time." His next job is gathering twigs for a fire. Edric wants a small fire later to cook some food or keep warm. He walks through the forest, looking at the ground, picking up sticks. He chooses dry ones, small and light, that snap when he bends them. He holds them in his arms like a bundle of pencils. The twigs smell like wood, earthy and good. He finds a few more tucked under a bush and adds them to his pile. He's careful, not breaking any green branches or hurting the trees. The forest is his home, and he takes care of it like it takes care of him. Let's walk with Edric as he gathers twigs. You're following him, stepping over roots, your boots crunching on the leaves. The forest is cool and shady, with sunlight peeking through the leaves. You see Edric bend down, picking up a stick, turning it in his hands. He smiles, small and quiet, like he's happy with his find. You pick up a stick too, dry and light, and add it to his pile. The forest smells fresh, like pine and moss. A squirrel runs by, chattering, its tail bouncing. You hear a bird singing high in a tree. Everything feels slow, gentle, like the forest is breathing with you. Edric's bundle of twigs is big enough now. He ties it with a bit of rope from his sack and slings it over his shoulder. It's not heavy, but it adds to the weight he's carrying. His shoulders ache a little more, his legs feel a little heavier. His eyes are droopy, like they always are, ready to close. But it's not time to rest yet. The sun is high and there's more to do. Edric keeps moving one step at a time, like stacking pebbles by a stream. The forest is patient, and so is he. Now Edric checks another trap. He walks to a spot near a big oak tree where he set a snare yesterday. He kneels down, moving slow like a cat creeping through grass. The snare is hidden in a patch of tall grass tied to a stick. Edric looks closely, his hands gentle, brushing the grass aside. There's a rabbit, small and soft, caught in the rope. Edric's eyes light up, but he stays quiet. He frees the rabbit carefully, holding it gently like it's a baby bird. He puts it in his sack, knowing it will feed someone in the village. He resets the snare, making sure it's ready for tomorrow, and stands up, brushing dirt off his knees. Let's imagine you're there, watching Edric check his trap. You're standing by the oak tree, its bark rough and strong. The grass is tall, tickling your legs. You see Edric kneel down, his hands moving slow, careful not to hurt the rabbit. He smiles, small and kind, as he puts the rabbit in his sack. You hear the forest around you, the leaves rustling, a bird chirping, the stream bubbling far away. The sun is warm, but the shade is cool, and you feel calm, like you're part of this quiet world. Edric's work is slow, gentle, like the forest itself. Edric keeps going, walking to another trap. His steps are slow, his boots crunching softly. His shoulders are aching more now, and his legs are heavier. The sun is high, and it's getting warm. He wipes his forehead with his sleeve, leaving a smudge of dirt. His eyes are droopy, blinking slow like he's ready for a nap. But he doesn't stop. He checks another snare, empty this time, and fixes it with care. He picks up a few more twigs, adding them to his bundle. Every task is small, simple, like putting one foot in front of the other. The forest seems to hum now, a soft, low sound like it's singing to Edric. The leaves rustle, the wind whispers, and the trees stand tall like they're watching him. It's like the forest is saying, "You've worked hard, Edric, rest soon." Edric feels it too. His body is tired, his eyes are heavy, and he's starting to think about his tree, his branch, his blanket. But there's still a little more to do, one tiny task at a time. Let's think about Edric's work. It's not loud or fast, like running or shouting. It's quiet, careful, like drawing a picture one line at a time. He checks a trap, sharpens his knife, gathers twigs. Each job is small but important. If he catches a rabbit, the village eats. If he sharpens his knife, it's ready for tomorrow. If he gathers twigs, he'll have a fire tonight. The forest helps him, giving him what he needs: rope for snares, stones for sharpening, twigs for fires. Edric gives back too, by moving gently, not hurting the trees or the animals. Edric stops for a moment to rest. He sits on a fallen log, his bundle of twigs beside him. He pulls out his sack and takes a piece of bread, crusty and hard. He chews it slowly, breaking off small bits. The bread is dry, but it's good, filling his belly. He finds a few nuts in his sack and cracks them with his hands, eating them one by one. The forest is quiet around him, except for the soft sounds: a bird singing, a squirrel scampering, the wind blowing through the leaves. Edric listens, his eyes half closed, feeling the forest's calm. Let's imagine you're sitting on the log with Edric. You have a piece of bread too, crusty but good. You chew it slowly like he does, tasting the simple flavor. The log is rough under you, but it feels solid, like it's been there forever. The forest is all around, green and shady, with sunlight making little spots on the ground. You hear a bird high in a tree singing a soft song. You see a squirrel running up a trunk, its tail bouncing. Edric smiles at you, his eyes droopy, and you feel calm, like the forest is wrapping you in a big, soft hug. Edric finishes his bread and stands up. His shoulders ache, his legs are heavy, and his eyes are droopier now. The sun is past the middle of the sky and it's afternoon. The forest feels warmer, but the shade keeps it cool. Edric walks to another trap, his steps slow and steady. He checks it, finds it empty, and fixes the rope. He picks up a few more twigs, adding them to his bundle. His body is tired, but he keeps going, one task at a time, like stacking pebbles by a stream. The forest hums louder now, like it's calling Edric to rest. The leaves rustle, the wind sighs, and the trees seem to lean closer, like they're saying, "Come on, Edric, you've done enough." Edric feels it too. His shoulders are sore, his legs are like heavy logs, and his eyes want to close. He thinks about his tree, the wide branch where he sleeps, the blanket that keeps him warm. He's not there yet, but he knows rest is coming, like a soft promise from the forest. Let's picture the forest in the afternoon. The sun is lower now, casting long shadows from the trees. The leaves are green, glowing in the light like they're happy. The air is warm, but the shade is cool, like a drink of water on a hot day. You hear the stream still bubbling and the birds still singing, but softer now, like they're getting tired too. A squirrel runs by carrying a nut, its tail bouncing like a flag. The forest feels alive, but calm, like it's ready to rest, just like Edric. Edric's tasks are simple, but they take time. He checks one last trap hidden near a big rock. He kneels down, moving slow, his hands brushing the grass. The snare is empty, but he fixes it anyway, making sure the rope is tight. He stands up, his knees creaking a little, and stretches. His shoulders ache, his legs are heavy, and his eyes are so droopy they're almost closed. The forest hums, soft and low, like it's singing him a lullaby. Edric knows it's time to start thinking about rest. He walks to a clearing where the trees open up and the sky is big and blue. He sets down his bundle of twigs, making a little pile for later. He checks his sack, making sure his rabbit is safe. He slings his bow over his shoulder and takes a deep breath. The air smells like pine and earth, fresh and good. His body is tired, but his heart is calm. The forest has been kind today, giving him a rabbit, twigs, and quiet. Edric is grateful, like he's saying thank you to the trees with every step. Let's imagine you're in the clearing with Edric. You're standing on the soft grass looking up at the sky. The trees are all around, tall and green, their leaves rustling softly. The sun is warm, but the shade keeps you cool. You see Edric's pile of twigs, neat and ready for a fire. You hear the forest humming like it's singing a quiet song. Your shoulders feel heavy like Edric, and your eyes are droopy too. You think about a tree high and strong where you could climb and rest. The forest feels safe, like a big, cozy hug. Edric's work is almost done for now. He's checked his traps, sharpened his knife, gathered twigs. His body is tired, his eyes are heavy, and the forest is calling him to rest. He thinks about his favorite tree with its wide branch and soft leaves. He thinks about his blanket, warm and snug. He thinks about the stars twinkling through the leaves at night. The forest hums, soft and gentle, like it's saying, "You've done enough, Edric, come rest." As you listen to this, maybe you're feeling tired too. Maybe your eyes are getting heavy like Edric's. That's okay. This story is for you to help you feel calm and cozy. You don't have to do anything. Just listen to the words like they're leaves rustling in the wind. Imagine you're in the forest with Edric, doing one tiny task at a time, moving slow and steady. The forest is quiet, the air is cool, and you're safe. Let's keep going, gentle and soft, as Edric feels the forest calling him to rest. The sun is sinking low now, painting the sky with soft pinks and oranges. The forest is quieter, like it's getting ready for night. Edric, our hunter, has been working all day. He walked through the trees, climbed up and down branches, and crouched low to check his traps. All that moving has worn him out, but it's a good kind of tired, like when you've played outside all day and your body feels heavy but happy. His muscles feel warm, like they're humming a quiet song. His breath comes slow, like a soft breeze. The forest wraps around him, calm and gentle, like a cozy wool cloak. By dusk, when the light is fading, Edric's body begs for rest. He lets out a long, cozy sigh, knowing sleep is close. The trees are waiting, ready to hold him like a soft cradle. Let's picture Edric in the forest. He's standing under a big oak tree, his boots sinking into the soft moss. His sack hangs from his belt, heavy with a rabbit he caught. His bow is over his shoulder, and his blanket is tied tight, ready for later. His brown shirt is dusty, his pants are patched, and his beard has a leaf stuck in it. His eyes are droopy, half closed, like they always are. He's tired, so tired, but it's a good tired. His legs feel like heavy logs, his arms ache from carrying his bow, and his shoulders are sore from crouching and climbing. But he's happy because the forest is calm and rest is coming. Edric's day has been full of work. He walked miles through the trees, his boots crunching on leaves and twigs. He climbed trees to check high branches for birds or to fix his snares. He crouched low, moving slow and quiet to look for animal tracks or set traps. All that moving makes his body feel heavy, like a sack full of stones. His muscles hum like they're tired but proud of their work. His breath is slow in and out like waves on a quiet lake. The forest helps him feel this way. Its quiet air, its soft sounds, its green shade, they wrap around him like a warm hug that says, "You've done enough." Let's imagine you're with Edric standing in the forest. The sun is low and the sky is turning pink. The trees are tall, their leaves glowing softly. You feel tired too, like you've walked a long way. Your legs are heavy, your arms are sore, and your eyes want to close. You hear the forest leaves rustling, a bird chirping far away, a stream bubbling gently. Edric looks at you and smiles, his eyes droopy. "Time to rest soon," he says, his voice soft like the wind. You nod, feeling the forest's calm wrap around you like a cozy blanket. You know sleep is near, and it feels good. Edric's tiredness comes from all his work. Walking through the forest isn't easy. The ground is bumpy with roots and rocks. He has to step carefully so he doesn't trip. His boots crunch on leaves, and sometimes he has to push through bushes or climb over logs. His legs work hard, carrying him up hills and down paths. By afternoon, they feel heavy, like they don't want to move anymore. But Edric keeps going slow and steady because that's how the forest works. It's patient, and so is he. Climbing trees makes him tired too. Edric climbs to check his snares or to look for animals. He grabs the rough bark, his hands strong but sore. He pulls himself up, step by step, his boots finding little bumps on the tree. His arms ache from pulling, his shoulders hurt from holding his weight. When he gets to a branch, he sits for a moment, catching his breath. The leaves rustle around him, and the forest feels like a friend helping him rest. Climbing is hard, but it's part of his day, and it makes his body ready for sleep. Crouching is another job that wears Edric out. He crouches to check his traps, hiding in the grass so animals don't see him. He bends his knees, lowers his body, and stays still like a statue. His legs get tired, his back aches, and his muscles hum with effort. Sometimes he stays crouched for a long time, waiting for a rabbit or a deer to come by. When he stands up, his knees creak and he stretches, slow and careful. The forest watches, its quiet air making him feel calm, even when he's tired. Let's walk with Edric for a moment. You're following him through the forest, your boots crunching on the leaves. The sun is low and the air is cool. You feel your legs getting heavy like Edric's. You've been walking, climbing, crouching too. Your arms are sore, your eyes are droopy. Edric stops by a tree, leaning against it, and sighs. It's a long, cozy sigh like he's letting go of the day. You lean against the tree too, feeling its rough bark. The forest is quiet, wrapping around you like a soft cloak. You know rest is coming, and it feels warm and good. Edric's tiredness is a good kind of tired. It's not like being upset or worried. It's like when you've run around outside, played games, or built a fort and your body feels ready to rest. Edric's muscles hum because they've worked hard. His legs are heavy because they've carried him far. His eyes are droopy because he's been awake all day, watching the forest, listening to its sounds. The forest helps him feel this way. Its quiet makes his mind calm. Its shade keeps him cool. Its sounds, birds, wind, streams, are like a lullaby, telling him it's okay to rest. By dusk, the forest is changing. The sky is pink and orange, like a soft painting. The trees cast long shadows, stretching across the ground. The air is cooler now, brushing Edric's face like a gentle hand. He's standing in a clearing, his sack heavy with a rabbit, his bundle of twigs ready for a fire. His shoulders ache, his legs are like stones, and his eyes want to close. He sighs again, a long, cozy sigh like he's saying goodbye to the day. The forest hums, soft and low, like it's singing to him. The trees are waiting, their branches open, ready to hold him like a cradle. Let's imagine you're in the clearing with Edric. The sky is pink, the trees are dark, and the forest is quiet. You feel tired, like you've walked all day. Your legs are heavy, your arms are sore, and your eyes are droopy. You see Edric, his blanket tied to his belt, his bow over his shoulder. He looks at a big oak tree, its branches wide and strong. "That's my bed," he says, his voice soft. You look at the tree, imagining climbing up, curling up on a branch, wrapping a blanket around you. The forest feels safe, like a big hug, and you know sleep is close. Edric's body is ready for rest. All that walking has made his feet sore. His boots are dusty, his toes ache from stepping over roots. His legs are heavy like they're saying, "Please, let's stop." His arms are tired from carrying his bow and his bundle of twigs. His shoulders hurt from crouching and climbing. Even his hands, rough like tree bark, feel tired from holding his knife and sharpening it with a stone. But this tiredness is good. It means he worked hard, did his job, helped the village. It means he's ready to sleep, high in his tree, where the forest will keep him safe. The forest helps Edric feel calm. Its quiet wraps around him like a wool cloak, warm and soft. The leaves rustle, making a gentle sound like a whisper. A bird calls far away, its voice soft and sleepy. The stream bubbles, steady and calm, like a song that never stops. Edric listens, and his breath slows in and out like a tide. His eyes get heavier, his body feels softer, like it's sinking into the forest's arms. He knows his tree is waiting, its branches strong, its leaves like a green blanket. He's ready to rest, and the forest is ready to help him. Let's think about how Edric feels. His body is tired, but his heart is happy. He's worked all day, walking, climbing, crouching. He's checked his traps, sharpened his knife, gathered twigs. Each job was small but important, like adding one pebble to a pile. Now at dusk, his body says enough. His muscles hum, his legs are heavy, his eyes want to close. He sighs a long, cozy sigh like letting out all the day's work. The forest hums back, its quiet wrapping him up like a mother tucking in a child. Edric starts walking toward his favorite tree. His steps are slow, his boots dragging a little on the leaves. His sack bounces at his belt, his bow swings on his shoulder. The forest is darker now, but the pink sky gives just enough light. He sees his tree, a big oak with wide branches, standing like an old friend. He feels his body relax, knowing rest is close. His legs are heavy, but they carry him forward. His eyes are droopy, but they see the tree waiting for him. The forest hums soft and low, like it's saying, "Come on, Edric, time to sleep." Let's imagine you're walking with Edric. Your legs are tired too, like you've been running all day. Your arms feel heavy, your eyes want to close. You see the oak tree, its branches wide and strong. Edric points to it and says, "That's where I sleep." You nod, feeling the forest calm. The air is cool, the leaves rustle, and the sky is pink. You think about climbing that tree, finding a branch, wrapping a blanket around you. Your body is tired, but it's a good tired, like you've done something important. The forest feels safe, like a big, cozy hug, and you know rest is coming. Edric's tiredness is part of his life. Every day he works hard, and every evening he gets tired. His body knows the rhythm of the forest, like a song that repeats. Walk, climb, crouch, rest. His muscles hum because they've worked. His breath slows because he's ready to relax. His eyes droop because sleep is near. The forest helps him, wrapping him in quiet like a wool cloak. By dusk, his body begs for rest, and he listens, sighing a long, cozy sigh, knowing his tree is waiting. The forest is Edric's friend, and it helps him rest. The trees stand tall, their branches open, like arms ready to hold him. The leaves rustle, making a soft sound like a lullaby. The air is cool, brushing his face, helping his eyes close. The sky is pink, then purple, then dark, like a blanket covering the world. Edric feels it all, and his body relaxes, ready to climb, ready to sleep. His tiredness is good because it means he's lived another day in the forest, doing his work, being part of its rhythm. Let's picture Edric one more time. He's standing by his oak tree, the sky pink and soft. His legs are heavy, his arms are sore, and his eyes are droopy. His sack is heavy with a rabbit, his bundle of twigs is ready for a fire. He sighs a long, cozy sigh, letting the day slip away. The forest hums, its leaves rustling, its air cool and calm. Edric looks at his tree, its branches wide and strong, like a bed made just for him. He's ready to climb, ready to rest, ready to let the forest hold him. As you listen to this, maybe you're feeling tired too. Maybe your eyes are heavy like Edric, wanting to close. That's okay. This story is for you to help you feel calm and cozy. You don't have to do anything. Just listen to the words like they're leaves rustling in the wind. Imagine you're in the forest with Edric, your body tired but happy, the trees waiting to hold you. The forest is quiet, the air is cool, and you're safe. Let's keep going, gentle and soft, as Edric feels the forest calling him to rest. The sky is dark now, with stars twinkling like tiny candles. The forest is quiet, wrapped in a soft, cool night. Edric, our hunter, is ready to sleep. His bed isn't like yours, with a soft mattress or fluffy pillows. His bed is a wide oak branch, high up in a strong tree. The branch is smooth from years of wind blowing over it, like a rock polished by a river. Edric climbs up, slow and careful, and wedges himself in a cozy crook where the branch meets the trunk. He leans his back against the tree, feeling its solid bark. He pulls his rough wool blanket around him, tucking it tight. The bark is hard, not soft like a bed, but it feels steady, safe, like a friend holding him tight. The leaves above rustle, soft and gentle, like a lullaby. The cool night air touches his cheeks like a soft kiss. It's not a fancy feather bed, but it's Edric's bed, and it's enough for him. Let's picture Edric's tree. It's a big oak, tall and strong, with a thick trunk that's been there forever. Its branches spread out like wide arms, ready to hold Edric. The branch he picks is wide, like a bench, smoothed by the wind over many years. The bark is rough but not sharp, like a rug that's a little bumpy. Edric sits on the branch, his legs tucked up, his back against the trunk. The tree feels solid, like it will never move, like it's saying, "I've got you, Edric." He pulls his blanket over his shoulders, wrapping it around his body, tucking it under his legs so he won't slip. The blanket is wool, scratchy but warm, like a hug from a sheep. The leaves above Edric are green and thick, making a canopy like a roof over his head. They rustle in the night breeze, making a soft sound like someone whispering a bedtime story. The sound is gentle, steady, like a song that helps you sleep. The air is cool, brushing Edric's cheeks, making his face feel fresh and calm. The stars peek through the leaves, twinkling softly like little lights just for him. Edric's bed isn't perfect. It's hard, it's high up, it's open to the air, but it works. It's his place, his safe spot, his home in the forest. Let's imagine you're with Edric up in his tree. You climb up holding the rough bark, feeling the tree's strength. You find the wide branch and sit down, leaning against the trunk. It's hard, but it feels steady, like it won't let you fall. You pull a blanket around you, woolen a little scratchy but warm. The leaves above rustle, soft and slow, like a lullaby. The cool air touches your cheeks like a gentle pat. You look up and see the stars, shining through the leaves, twinkling just for you. It's not a soft bed, but it's cozy, safe, like the forest is hugging you. Edric loves his tree bed. It's not like the beds in villages with straw mattresses or wooden frames. Those beds are soft, but they're inside houses, away from the forest. Edric doesn't want that. He wants the trees, the stars, the night air. His branch is hard, but it's strong. The bark presses against his back, but it feels like the tree is holding him, keeping him safe. His blanket is rough, but it keeps him warm, even when the night is cold. The leaves above make a soft roof, keeping out the rain, letting in just enough starlight. It's not perfect, but it's enough, and Edric is happy. The forest helps Edric sleep. The leaves rustle, making a quiet sound like a mother singing to a baby. The breeze moves through the trees, cool and gentle like a soft touch. The stars shine, giving just enough light to make the night feel friendly. Edric's body is tired from his day, walking, climbing, crouching. His legs are heavy, his arms are sore, and his eyes want to close. The tree holds him steady and strong like a cradle, rocking him to sleep. The blanket wraps him warm and snug like a cocoon. The forest's quiet wraps around him like a big, soft hug. Let's think about Edric's blanket. It's not like your blanket with bright colors or soft fabric. It's plain wool, heavy and a little rough like a thick sweater. It's patched in places because it gets caught on branches. Edric doesn't mind. He pulls it over his shoulders, tucks it under his legs, and ties it with a rope to keep it in place. The blanket smells like wool and the forest, like sheep and pine trees mixed together. It's not soft, but it's warm, and it makes Edric feel safe, like he's wrapped in a big hug. When he pulls it tight, he knows he won't fall, and the night feels cozy. The tree is Edric's bed, but it's more than that. It's his safe place, his home. The oak is old, with deep lines in its bark like wrinkles on a wise face. The branch is wide, smoothed by years of wind, like a rock worn smooth by a river. Edric knows this tree like you know your favorite chair or spot on the couch. He knows its bumps, its curves, its strength. He knows how to sit just right, with his back against the trunk, his legs tucked up. The tree holds him like a friend who never lets go. It's not a feather bed, but it's his, and it works. Let's imagine climbing Edric's tree. You start at the bottom, grabbing the rough bark. Your hands feel the tree's strength like it's been there forever. You climb up step by step, your boots finding little bumps to rest on. The tree is solid, like a ladder that won't wobble. You reach the wide branch and sit down, feeling the smooth wood under you. You lean against the trunk, and it's hard but steady, like a wall you can trust. You pull your blanket around you, tucking it tight. The leaves rustle above, the stars shine through, and the cool air brushes your cheeks. It's not a soft bed, but it feels safe, cozy, like the forest is your home. Edric's bed isn't perfect, but he doesn't need perfect. He doesn't want a fancy bed with pillows and sheets. He wants his tree, his branch, his blanket. He wants the forest with its quiet sounds and cool air. The bark is hard, but it's smooth enough to rest on. The blanket is scratchy, but it's warm enough to keep him cozy. The branch is high, but it's safe, far from wolves or rain. The leaves rustle, the stars twinkle, and the night air is gentle. Edric's bed works because it's his and it's enough. The forest makes Edric's bed special. The leaves above are like a green roof, keeping out the wind and rain. They rustle, soft and steady, like a song that never stops. The sound is calming, like waves on a quiet beach. Edric listens, his eyes getting heavy, his breath slowing down. The cool air touches his face like a soft hand, helping him relax. The stars shine through the leaves, giving just enough light to make the night feel safe. The tree holds him, its branch wide and strong, like a bed made just for him. Edric feels the forest all around, like a big, cozy blanket. Let's think about the night air. It's cool, not cold, like a glass of water on a warm day. It brushes Edric's cheeks, making his face feel fresh. His beard moves a little in the breeze, and he smiles, small and sleepy. The air smells like pine trees and dirt, clean and good. It fills his lungs, making his breath slow and calm, like a tide going in and out. The cool air helps his eyes close, his body relax, his mind get quiet. It's like the forest is saying, "Sleep now, Edric, I'm here." Edric's tree is his safe place. The oak is strong, its trunk wide and solid like a big pillar. The branch is wide, smoothed by years of wind like a table you can trust. Edric wedges himself in the crook where the branch meets the trunk so he won't slip. His back presses against the bark, hard but steady, like leaning on a strong friend. He tucks his blanket tight, tying it with a rope so he feels snug like a bug in a cocoon. The tree holds him high above the ground, far from danger, close to the stars. Let's imagine you're in Edric's bed. You're on the wide branch, your back against the trunk. The bark is hard, but it feels safe, like it won't let you fall. Your blanket is around you, wool and a little scratchy, but warm. You tuck it under your legs, tying it with a rope, just like Edric. The leaves above rustle, soft and gentle, like a lullaby. The cool air touches your cheeks, like a soft kiss. The stars twinkle through the leaves, shining just for you. It's not a feather bed, but it's cozy, safe, like the forest is holding you tight. Edric's bed isn't perfect, but it's perfect for him. He doesn't want a soft mattress or a warm house. He wants the forest with its trees and stars. The branch is hard, but it's strong, holding him like a cradle. The blanket is rough, but it's warm, wrapping him like a hug. The leaves rustle, the air is cool, and the stars shine. Edric's body is tired from his day, walking, climbing, crouching. His legs are heavy, his arms are sore, his eyes want to close. The tree helps him rest, holding him steady, keeping him safe. The forest sounds are part of Edric's bed. The leaves make a soft rustling, like someone turning pages in a book. The breeze whispers low and gentle, like a quiet voice. A cricket chirps far away, it sounds steady, like a tiny heartbeat. An owl hoots soft and low, like a friend saying good night. These sounds wrap around Edric like a lullaby, helping his eyes close, his breath slow. The forest is singing to him, telling him it's time to sleep, time to rest. Edric's blanket is important too. It's not big or fancy, just a square of wool, heavy and warm. It's patched with bits of cloth because it gets torn on branches. Edric doesn't care. He pulls it over his shoulders, tucks it under his legs, and ties it tight. The blanket keeps the cool air out, making him feel cozy, like he's in a nest. It smells like wool in the forest, like sheep and pine trees. When Edric wraps it around him, he feels safe, like nothing can bother him, high in his tree. Let's picture Edric one more time. He's in his tree on his wide branch, his back against the trunk. His blanket is tucked around him, warm and snug. The leaves above rustle, soft and steady, like a lullaby. The cool air brushes his cheeks like a gentle touch. The stars twinkle through the leaves, shining softly. His sack is tied to the branch, his bow is close, and his body is tired. His eyes are heavy, his breath is slow, and he's ready to sleep. The tree holds him, the forest wraps him, and the night is calm. It's not a perfect bed, but it's his, and it's enough. As you listen to this, maybe you're feeling sleepy too. Maybe your eyes are heavy like Edric, wanting to close. That's okay. This story is for you to help you feel calm and cozy. You don't have to do anything, just listen to the words like they're leaves rustling in the wind. Imagine you're in Edric's tree on a wide branch wrapped in a blanket. The forest is quiet, the air is cool, and the stars are shining. You're safe, ready to rest, just like Edric. The forest is dark now, with stars twinkling like little lights in the sky. The air is cool and the trees stand tall, their leaves rustling softly like a quiet song. Edric, our hunter, is up in his oak tree, sitting on a wide branch. His wool blanket is wrapped around him, warm and snug, keeping the night air away. His back is against the rough trunk, steady and strong like a friend holding him up. The forest is calm, but it's not empty. Sometimes, Edric isn't alone in his tree. Other hunters might climb up, finding their own branches nearby, their snores mixing with the gentle wind. Owls hoot in the distance, their voices soft and low. Once a curious fox curled up at the bottom of the tree, its fluffy tail flicking in the moonlight. It feels a little crowded sometimes, sure, but it's warm, like being part of the forest's heartbeat. In the forest, no one is ever truly alone. Let's picture Edric in his tree. He's high up on his favorite wide branch, his blanket tucked tight. His sack is tied to the branch, and his bow is close, safe from falling. The leaves above rustle, making a soft sound like someone whispering good night. The stars shine through, twinkling like tiny candles. Edric's eyes are heavy, his breath is slow, and he's ready to sleep. But he hears a sound, a rustle, a creak. It's another hunter, climbing the same tree, finding a branch just a little higher. The hunter, maybe a friend named Wulfric, settles in, his own blanket wrapped around him. Wulfric's snores start soft and rumbly, like a bear sleeping nearby. The sound mixes with the wind, and Edric smiles, feeling cozy, like he's sharing the tree with family. The forest is full of life, even at night. Edric knows he's not alone. The trees are alive, their leaves moving in the breeze. The animals are awake too, moving quietly in the dark. An owl hoots from a nearby tree, its voice low and gentle, like a soft hello. Edric listens, his eyes half closed, and feels like the owl is part of his night, a friend keeping watch. Down below, a fox might wander by, its paws soft on the moss. Once, Edric saw a fox curl up at the base of his tree, its red fur glowing in the moonlight, its tail flicking like a little flag. It stayed there, sleeping, and Edric felt warm, like the forest was sharing its heartbeat with him. Let's imagine you're up in the tree with Edric. You're on a branch just below his, your blanket wrapped tight. The bark is hard but smooth, holding you steady. The leaves rustle above like a lullaby. You hear Wulfric snoring soft and steady on a branch nearby. It's a funny sound, like a puppy dreaming. You look down and see a fox curled up at the bottom of the tree, its tail flicking. An owl hoots far away, its voice calm and low. forest feels full, like a big family, and you're part of it. It's a little crowded, but it's warm, like a cozy hug from the trees. Edric likes sharing his tree. He doesn't mind the other hunters. Sometimes Wulfric climbs up, or maybe another hunter like Alfric finds a branch. They don't talk much, they're all tired from the day. They just settle in, wrap their blankets, and sigh, ready to sleep. Their snores mix with the wind like a quiet song. Edric listens, his eyes droopy, and feels like he's not alone. The tree holds them all, its branches strong, like arms keeping them safe. The forest is their home, and they share it like brothers in a big green house. The animals are part of this too. The forest is never empty. Owls live in the trees, their big eyes watching the night. They hoot soft and low like they're singing to the stars. Edric hears them and feels calm, like the owls are his neighbors. Sometimes a squirrel sleeps in a nest above, its tiny snores mixing with the leaves. Once Edric saw a family of mice curled up in a hollow branch, their little bodies snuggled together. He smiled because the forest is a home for everyone, not just him. Let's think about the fox. That one night Edric looked down and saw it, curled up like a ball at the base of his tree. Its fur was red, shining in the moonlight. Its tail flicked like it was dreaming of chasing rabbits. Edric watched it, his eyes heavy, and felt happy. The fox wasn't scared, it felt safe, just like he did. The tree was big enough for both of them, hunter and fox, sharing the forest's heartbeat. The night was cool, the stars were bright, and Edric knew he wasn't alone. The other hunters make the tree feel warm. Wulfric, with his loud snores, is on a branch above. Alfric, quieter, is on a branch to the side. They're tired too, their bodies heavy from walking and hunting. Their blankets are wrapped tight, their bows tied to the tree. They don't talk, but they're together like a family sleeping close. Edric hears their snores, soft and rumbly, and it makes him feel cozy, like he's in a big bed with friends. The tree holds them all, its branches wide and strong, like a house with many rooms. Let's imagine you're in the tree too. You're on your branch, your blanket snug. You hear Wulfric snoring like a soft growl. Alfric's breathing is quiet, steady like a little wave. The leaves rustle above, the wind whispers, and an owl hoots nearby. You look down and see the fox curled up, its tail flicking. The forest feels full, like a party, but a quiet one. Everyone's here, hunters, owls, foxes, squirrels, and you're part of it. It's a little crowded, but it's warm, like being wrapped in a big hug. Edric's tree is big, with lots of branches, like a ladder reaching to the sky. The oak is old, its trunk thick and strong, like a giant standing still. The branches spread out wide and smooth, polished by years of wind. Edric picks the best branch, but there's room for others. Wulfric likes a high branch where he can see the stars. Alfric picks a lower one closer to the trunk. They all fit like birds in a nest, sharing the tree's strength. The bark is hard but steady, holding them tight, keeping them safe. The forest sounds make the night feel alive. The leaves rustle, soft and gentle like a lullaby. The wind blows, cool and quiet like a soft breath. The owls hoot, their voices low like friends talking far away. A fox might rustle below, its paws soft on the moss. Sometimes a squirrel twitches in its sleep, making a tiny squeak. Edric listens, his eyes closing, and feels like the forest is singing to him. The snores of the other hunters mix with the sounds, like a band playing a quiet song. It's not lonely, it's warm, like being part of the forest's heartbeat. Let's think about the other hunters. Wulfric is big, with a beard even messier than Edric's. His snores are loud, like a bear grumbling, but they're steady like a clock ticking. Alfric is smaller, with quiet breaths like a mouse sleeping. They're Edric's friends even if they don't talk much. They hunt together, walk together, sleep together in the same tree. Their blankets are wool like Edric's, rough but warm. Their bows are tied to the branches, their sacks tucked close. They're tired like Edric, their bodies heavy from the day. The tree holds them all like a big hug. The animals make the tree feel like a home. The owl in a nearby tree hoots, its voice soft like a whisper. Edric knows it's there, watching the night, keeping the forest safe. The fox below sleeps, its tail flicking like it's dreaming of running. Sometimes a deer passes by, its hooves quiet on the moss, its eyes shining in the moonlight. Edric sees it and feels calm, like the deer is part of his night too. The forest is full of life, and Edric is part of it, sharing his tree with hunters and animals. Let's imagine you're in the tree again. Your blanket is wrapped tight, the branch is steady under you. You hear Wulfric's snores, Alfric's quiet breaths, the owl's soft hoot. You look down and see the fox curled up, its tail moving just a little. The leaves rustle, the wind whispers, and the stars shine through. The forest feels alive but calm, like a big family sleeping together. You're not alone, you're with Edric, the hunters, the animals. It's a little crowded, but it's warm, like a cozy hug from the forest. Edric's tree is never lonely. Even when no other hunters are there, the animals keep him company. A squirrel might sleep above, its tiny snores mixing with the leaves. A bird might nest nearby, its feathers rustling as it settles in. The fox might come back, curling up below, its tail flicking like a dream. Edric feels them all like friends sharing the night. The tree holds him, the forest wraps him, and the sounds make him feel safe. It's not a big bed, but it's enough, like being part of the forest's heartbeat. The other hunters make the night special. Wulfric's snores are loud, but they're steady like a song. Alfric's breaths are soft like a whisper. They're tired like Edric, their bodies heavy from hunting. They climb the tree, find their branches, and wrap their blankets tight. They don't talk, but they don't need to. They're together, sharing the tree, sharing the night. Edric listens to their snores, and it feels warm like a family sleeping close. The forest is their home, and they're never alone. Let's picture the forest at night. The sky is dark, with stars twinkling like little lights. The trees are tall, their leaves rustling softly. The air is cool, brushing your face like a gentle hand. You hear the owl hooting far away, its voice low and calm. You hear Wulfric snoring, Alfric breathing, the fox rustling below. The forest is alive but quiet, like a big family sleeping. Edric is on his branch, his blanket snug, his eyes closing. You're there too, on your branch, feeling the forest's heartbeat, warm and cozy. Edric's tree is a shared place. Sometimes it's just him and the animals. Sometimes it's him and the other hunters. Sometimes it's all of them together, filling the tree with soft sounds. The branches are wide, strong, like a big bed for everyone. The blankets are warm, the leaves are gentle, and the stars shine down. It's a little crowded, but that's okay. It makes Edric feel like he's part of something bigger, like the forest is one big family, and he's never alone. As you listen to this, maybe you're feeling sleepy. Maybe your eyes are heavy like Edric, wanting to close. That's okay. This story is for you to help you feel calm and cozy. You don't have to do anything. Just listen to the words like they're leaves rustling in the wind. Imagine you're in Edric's tree with Wulfric snoring, Alfric breathing, the fox below, and the owl hooting. The forest is warm like a big hug, and you're part of it. You're not alone, and you're safe, ready to rest. The forest is dark now, wrapped in a quiet, cool night. The sky is full of stars, twinkling like little lights. Edric, our hunter, is up in his oak tree, sitting on a wide, smooth branch. His wool blanket is tucked around him, warm and snug, keeping the chilly air away. His back leans against the rough trunk, steady and strong like a big hug from the tree. The forest never really sleeps, but it gets softer, calmer, like it's taking a deep breath. Crickets chirp in a slow, lazy rhythm like a tiny band playing a gentle song. A stream gurgles far away, its water bubbling over rocks. The wind sighs through the pine trees, soft and low like a whisper. Edric's tree creaks just a little, like an old friend settling down. Sometimes a wolf howls in the distance, but it's not scary, it's just part of the night's song. All these sounds wrap around Edric, rocking him slow and steady into dreams. Let's picture Edric in his tree. He's high up on his favorite branch, his blanket pulled tight. His sack is tied to the branch, safe with his bread and a rabbit he caught. His bow is close, resting against the trunk. The leaves above him are thick, making a green roof that rustles softly. The stars peek through, shining like little candles. Edric's eyes are heavy, his breath is slow, and he's ready to sleep. The forest is quiet, but not silent. It's full of gentle sounds, like a lullaby made just for him. He listens, his body relaxing, his mind getting calm, as the night's song carries him away. The crickets are the first sound Edric hears. They chirp, chirp, chirp in a lazy, steady rhythm like a clock ticking softly. The sound is small but clear, coming from the grass and bushes below. Each cricket adds its voice, making a big chorus like a band of tiny singers. The chirping isn't loud, it's gentle, like a whisper you can barely hear. Edric listens, his eyes half closed, and the crickets make him feel cozy, like the forest is singing him to sleep. The rhythm is slow, back and forth, like a rocking chair moving gently. Let's imagine you're in the tree with Edric. You're on a branch, your blanket wrapped around you, warm and snug. The bark is hard but smooth, holding you steady. You hear the crickets chirping in their lazy rhythm like a soft song. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The sound is all around, coming from the ground below, mixing with the rustling leaves. You look up and see the stars twinkling through the leaves. The forest feels calm, like it's hugging you. The crickets keep chirping and your eyes get heavy, like Edric's, ready to close. The stream is another sound in the forest. It's far away, but Edric can hear it, gurgling and bubbling like a happy little laugh. The water moves over rocks, making a soft, steady sound like someone pouring water from a jug. The stream never stops, day or night, always singing its quiet song. Edric listens, and the gurgling makes him feel peaceful, like the forest is telling him everything is okay. The sound is gentle, blending with the crickets like two friends singing together. It's like a lullaby rocking Edric slow and steady towards sleep. Let's think about the stream. It's a small one winding through the forest like a shiny ribbon. The water is clear, sparkling in the moonlight when it's not hidden by trees. Little rocks sit in the stream, smoothed by years of water flowing over them. The gurgling sound is soft, like a whisper, like a song that never ends. You're in the tree, hearing it from far away, and it makes you feel calm. The stream's voice mixes with the crickets, creating a gentle music that wraps around you like a warm blanket. Your breath slows, your eyes droop, and you feel the forest's peace. The wind is part of the night's song, too. It sighs through the pine trees, soft and low, like a gentle breath. The pines are tall, their needles rustling as the wind moves them like a quiet shake of a rattle. The sound is calm, not loud, like someone whispering good night. Edric feels the wind on his cheeks, cool and soft, like a gentle touch. It moves his beard just a little, and he smiles, sleepy and happy. The wind sigh mixes with the crickets and the stream, making the forest feel alive but quiet, like it's ready to rest, too. Let's imagine the wind. You're up in the tree, your blanket snug. The cool air brushes your face like a soft hand. You hear the wind sighing through the pines, a low, gentle sound like a hush. The pine needles rustle like they're dancing slowly. The wind moves the leaves above you, making them whisper like a secret just for you. The stars shine through, twinkling softly. The wind sigh is part of the forest's song, blending with the crickets and the stream. It makes you feel cozy, like the forest is rocking you, slow and steady, into sleep. Edric's tree adds its own sound. It creaks just a little as the wind moves it. The creak is soft, like an old chair settling when you sit down. The oak is strong, its wide branch holding Edric steady, but it sways a tiny bit, like a cradle rocking. The creaking is gentle, like the tree is saying, "I'm here, Edric, rest now." He listens, his back against the trunk, feeling the tree's strength. The creak mixes with the crickets, the stream, and the wind like a friend joining the forest's song. It's not loud, it's cozy, helping Edric's eyes close, his breath slow. Let's picture the tree creaking. You're on your branch, leaning against the trunk. The bark is rough but steady, like a solid wall. You feel the tree sway just a tiny bit as the wind moves it. The creak is soft, like a door opening slowly. Creak, creak. The sound is gentle, mixing with the chirping crickets, the gurgling stream, the sighing wind. The leaves above rustle, the stars twinkle, and the tree holds you tight. It's like the forest is singing a lullaby, and the tree's creak is part of it, rocking you, slow and steady, toward dreams. Sometimes a wolf howls in the distance. The sound is far away, low and long, like a sad song. It's not scary to Edric, it's just part of the forest. The wolf is out there, living its life, singing to the night. The howl is soft by the time it reaches Edric's tree, blending with the other sounds like a deep note in a quiet band. Edric listens, his eyes droopy, and feels calm. The wolf's howl is like a friend saying, "I'm here too." It's part of the night's song, helping Edric relax, guiding him into sleep. Let's imagine the wolf's howl. You're in the tree, wrapped in your blanket, the branch steady under you. You hear a sound far away, a long, low howl. It's not loud, just soft, like a whisper from the forest. The howl mixes with the crickets, the stream, the wind, the trees creak. It's not scary, it's gentle, like the wolf is singing to the stars. You look up, seeing the twinkling lights through the leaves. The forest feels big, but safe, like a big family. The howl fades and your eyes get heavy, like Edric's, ready for dreams. The forest sounds are like a big song with many parts. The crickets chirp, steady and lazy, like a drum keeping time. The stream gurgles, soft and happy, like a flute playing low. The wind sighs, cool and gentle, like a voice humming. The tree creaks, slow and steady, like a quiet beat. The wolf howls far away like a deep horn. All these sounds mix together, creating a lullaby that wraps around Edric. He listens, his body tired, his mind calm. The sounds rock him like a boat on a quiet lake, carrying him into dreams. Let's think about all these sounds together. You're in the tree, your blanket warm, the branch strong. You hear the crickets chirping their lazy rhythm. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The stream gurgles, bubbling far away like a soft laugh. The wind sighs through the pines, rustling the needles like a hush. The tree creaks gently like an old friend. Creak, creak. A wolf howls low and far like a quiet song. The sounds blend like a band playing softly just for you. The forest is alive but calm, and you feel cozy, like it's singing you to sleep. Edric loves the night sounds. They're not loud or scary, they're gentle, like a mother's voice. The crickets keep him company, their chirping steady like a friend who never leaves. The stream's gurgle is happy like the forest is smiling. The wind's sigh is cool, brushing his cheeks, helping his eyes close. The tree's creak is familiar, like his bed saying, I'm here. Even the wolf's howl, far away, feels like part of the forest's family. Edric listens, his breath slowing, his body sinking into the branch, ready for dreams. The forest song is special because it's always there. Day or night, the sounds never stop, but at night they soften like the forest is whispering instead of shouting. The crickets chirp, the stream gurgles, the wind sighs, the tree creaks, and sometimes the wolf howls. Edric knows these sounds like you know your favorite song. They make him feel safe, like the forest is watching over him. His blanket is warm, his branch is steady, and the night song wraps around him like a big, cozy hug. Let's imagine you're listening to the forest song. You're on your branch, the blanket tucked tight. The crickets chirp, steady and soft, like a tiny heartbeat. The stream gurgles far away like a happy whisper. The wind sighs, moving the pine needles like a gentle breath. The tree creaks, slow and quiet, like a rocking chair. A wolf howls, low and distant, like a soft note. The sounds mix, like a lullaby, rocking you gently. Your eyes are heavy, your breath is slow, and the forest feels safe, like a big family singing you to sleep. Edric's tree is part of the night song. The creaking branch is like a voice, joining the crickets, the stream, the wind. The leaves rustle, adding their own sound like a soft shake of a tambourine. Edric feels the tree under him, strong and steady, swaying just a little. The creak is gentle, like the tree is saying, rest now, Edric. He pulls his blanket tighter, tucking it under his legs, tying it with a rope. The wool is scratchy but warm, keeping the cool air out. The tree holds him, the sounds wrap him, and he's ready to dream. The forest sounds make Edric feel like he's not alone. The crickets are his friends, chirping their lazy song. The stream is his neighbor, gurgling happily. The wind is his blanket, sighing softly. The tree is his bed, creaking gently. The wolf far away is part of the forest, singing its own note. Edric listens, his eyes closing, his breath slowing. The sounds are like a big family all around him, making the night feel warm and safe. He's high in his tree, but he's part of the forest, part of its heartbeat. Let's picture the forest at night one more time. The sky is dark, with stars twinkling like little lights. The trees are tall, their leaves rustling softly. The air is cool, brushing your face like a gentle hand. You hear the crickets chirping their steady rhythm. The stream gurgles, soft and far away. The wind sighs through the pines like a quiet hush. The tree creaks, slow and gentle, like a friend settling in. A wolf howls, low and distant, like a soft song. Edric is on his branch, his blanket snug, his eyes closed. You're there too on your branch, feeling the forest song, warm and cozy, rocking you into dreams. As you listen to this, maybe you're feeling sleepy. Maybe your eyes are heavy like Edric, wanting to close. That's okay. This story is for you to help you feel calm and cozy. You don't have to do anything. Just listen to the words like their leaves rustling in the wind. Imagine you're in Edric's tree, hearing the crickets, the stream, the wind, the creek, the wolf's howl. The forest song is soft, rocking you slow and steady into dreams. You're safe, wrapped in the night's gentle sounds, ready to rest. The forest is deep in darkness now, with the moon glowing soft and silver in the sky. The stars twinkle like tiny lights scattered across the night. Edric, our hunter, is asleep in his oak tree, high up on a wide, smooth branch. His wool blanket is wrapped tight around him, warm and cozy, keeping the cool night air away. His back rests against the rough trunk, solid and strong like a big hug from the tree. The forest is quiet, with leaves rustling softly and crickets chirping far below. But sometimes, hunters like Edric wake up in the dark, not scared or jumpy but gentle, like floating up to the surface of a still pond. Edric opens his eyes, blinks at the stars, and shifts a little on his branch. He might reach for his sack and nibble a piece of bread, slow and calm. There's no hurry to sleep again, just a quiet pause like the world is holding its breath. Then he drifts back to sleep, the tree holding him tight, safe and warm. Let's picture Edric in his tree. He's curled up on his wide branch, the blanket tucked under his legs, tied with a rope so he won't slip. His sack is tied to the branch, close by with his bread and a rabbit he caught. His bow rests against the trunk, safe from falling. The leaves above make a green roof, rustling softly in the breeze. The moon shines through, casting silver light on his face. Edric's eyes open, slow and sleepy, like a turtle peeking out of its shell. He's not startled, he's calm, like he's waking up to say hello to the night. He blinks at the stars twinkling above and feels the forest all around him, quiet and gentle. The midnight break is a special time. It's not like waking up in the morning ready to start the day. It's a soft waking like floating in a dream. Edric shifts on his branch, moving carefully so he stays steady. The bark is hard but smooth, holding him like a strong friend. He stretches his legs a little, his boots brushing the branch, making a soft scrape. His blanket is warm, keeping the cool air away, and he pulls it tighter like a hug. He looks up at the stars, so many of them, shining like little candles in the sky. The forest is calm, and Edric feels peaceful, like he's part of the night. Let's imagine you're in the tree with Edric. You're on a branch nearby, your blanket wrapped snug. You wake up soft and slow, like floating up in water. Your eyes open and you see the stars twinkling through the leaves. The moon is bright, making the forest glow with silver light. You shift a little, feeling the branch under you hard but steady. The leaves rustle above like a quiet whisper. You hear Edric move, his blanket rustling, his boots scraping softly. He's awake too, blinking at the stars, calm and cozy. The forest feels safe, like a big hug, and you know there's no rush, just a quiet pause in the night. Edric reaches for his sack tied to the branch. He moves slow, careful not to drop anything. The sack is small, made of rough cloth, and it holds his food. He pulls out a piece of bread, hard and crusty but good. He nibbles it, breaking off tiny bits, chewing slowly. The bread is dry, but it tastes like the forest, like home. He eats just a little, enough to feel calm, like a small snack before drifting back to sleep. The stars watch him, twinkling softly, and the moon lights his face, making his beard glow a little. Edric sighs, a soft, cozy sigh, like he's happy to be here in this quiet moment. Let's think about Edric's bread. It's not soft like the bread you might eat with butter or jam. It's hard like a cracker, made to last for days. He keeps it in his sack, wrapped in a cloth to stay clean. When he nibbles it, the bread crunches, a small sound in the quiet night. He chews slowly, tasting the simple flavor like wheat and earth. It's not a big meal, just a little bite, enough to settle his stomach, to make him feel cozy. You're in the tree too, and you imagine nibbling a piece of bread, crunching softly, looking at the stars. The forest is calm, and the bread feels like a gift from the night. The forest is quiet during Edric's midnight break, but it's not silent. The leaves rustle above, moved by a gentle breeze like a soft whisper. Crickets chirp far below, their sound lazy and steady like a tiny heartbeat. A stream gurgles in the distance, its water bubbling over rocks like a happy sigh. An owl hoots soft and low like a friend saying hello from another tree. The sounds are gentle, blending together like a lullaby that never stops. Edric listens, his eyes heavy, his breath slow. The forest song wraps around him like a warm blanket, helping him feel safe. Let's imagine the forest sounds. You're on your branch, your blanket snug. You hear the leaves rustling like someone turning pages in a book. The crickets chirp, 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 slow and steady like a quiet drum. The stream gurgles far away like a soft laugh. The owl hoots, its voice low and calm like a whisper. The sounds mix like a band playing a gentle song. You feel the breeze cool on your face, moving the leaves above. The stars twinkle, the moon glows, and the forest feels alive, but peaceful, like it's watching over you during this quiet pause. Edric doesn't rush to sleep again. He likes this moment, this midnight break. It's like a little gift from the night, a time to be awake but calm. He blinks at the stars, counting a few like they're old friends. He feels the tree under him, strong and steady, like it's been there forever. His blanket is warm, keeping the cool air away, and his branch is safe, holding him tight. He nibbles another tiny piece of bread, chewing slowly, letting the forest sounds fill his ears. There's no hurry, no worry, just a quiet pause, like the world is holding its breath. Let's think about the stars. They're bright in the dark sky, twinkling like little lights. Edric looks up through the leaves and sees them shining, some big, some small. They're far away, but they feel close, like they're watching him, keeping him company. The moon is there too, round and silver, glowing softly. Its light makes the leaves look like they're covered in frost, even though it's not cold. You're in the tree looking at the stars too. They twinkle like they're winking at you, and the moon glows like a big nightlight. The forest feels calm, and the stars make you feel like you're part of something big and quiet. Edric shifts again, settling into his branch. He finds the perfect spot where the branch meets the trunk like a cozy corner. His back presses against the bark, hard but smooth, like leaning on a strong wall. He pulls his blanket tighter, tucking it under his legs, tying it with a rope. The wool is scratchy but warm like a thick sweater. He feels safe like the tree is holding him in its arms. The leaves rustle, the crickets chirp, the stream gurgles, and the owl hoots. Edric's eyes get heavier, his breath gets slower, and he knows he'll drift back to sleep soon. Let's imagine you're settling in too. You're on your branch, finding the best spot where the branch feels just right. You lean against the trunk, feeling its strength like a big hug. Your blanket is wrapped tight, tied with a rope, keeping you warm. The leaves above make a soft sound like a lullaby. The crickets keep chirping, the stream keeps gurgling, the owl keeps hooting. The stars twinkle, the moon glows, and the forest feels safe. Your eyes are heavy like Edric, and you feel calm like you're floating back to a dream. The midnight break is a quiet time, but it's special. Edric doesn't wake up because he's scared or cold. He wakes up soft, like the night is calling him to look at the stars, to listen to the forest. He might nibble his bread or just sit blinking at the moon. He feels the tree under him, the blanket around him, the forest all around. There's no rush, no need to do anything. It's just a pause, like the forest is saying, "Rest, Edric, but take a moment to enjoy the night." He sighs, cozy and calm, knowing sleep will come again. The forest helps Edric during his midnight break. The sounds are gentle, like a song that never stops. The crickets chirp, steady and lazy, like a friend's voice. The stream gurgles, soft and happy, like a smile. The leaves rustle, moved by the breeze, like a whisper. The owl hoots low and calm, like a good night wish. The tree creaks just a little, like it's settling with Edric. These sounds wrap around him like a big, soft hug, making him feel safe, ready to drift back to sleep. Let's think about the forest's quiet. It's not silent, there's always a sound, but it's soft, like a whisper. You're in the tree, hearing the crickets, the stream, the leaves, the owl. The sounds are gentle, blending together like a lullaby. The breeze moves the leaves, cool on your face like a soft touch. The stars twinkle, the moon glows, and the forest feels alive but calm. You're with Edric, and you know you're not alone. The forest is here, singing its quiet song, helping you rest. Edric's tree is a safe place during the midnight break. The branch is wide, smoothed by years of wind like a rock worn by a river. The trunk is strong, holding him steady like a big brother. The bark is rough but familiar, like an old blanket you love. Edric knows this tree like you know your favorite spot on the couch. He shifts, finding the best spot where he feels cozy and secure. His blanket is tied tight, his sack is close, and his bow is safe. The tree holds him high above the ground, far from danger, close to the stars. Let's imagine the tree. You're on your branch, feeling the smooth wood under you. The trunk is behind you, solid and strong like a wall you can trust. Your blanket is warm, keeping the cool air away. The leaves above rustle like a soft roof. The stars shine through, twinkling softly. The tree sways just a little like a cradle, rocking gently. You hear Edric nearby, nibbling his bread, sighing softly. The forest is calm, and the tree feels safe, like it's holding you tight, ready to carry you back to sleep. Edric doesn't stay awake long. The midnight break is short, just a quiet pause. He nibbles his bread, looks at the stars, listens to the forest. His eyes get heavier, his breath gets slower, and his body sinks into the branch. The tree holds him, the blanket wraps him, and the forest sounds rock him. He drifts back to sleep, soft and gentle, like sinking into a warm bed. The stars keep twinkling, the moon keeps glowing, and the forest keeps singing, carrying Edric into dreams. Let's picture Edric drifting back to sleep. He's on his branch, his blanket snug, his back against the trunk. His eyes are almost closed, his breath is slow, like a quiet wave. The crickets chirp, the stream gurgles, the leaves rustle, the owl hoots. The sounds wrap around him like a lullaby. The stars twinkle, the moon glows, and the forest feels safe. You're there too on your branch, your eyes heavy, your breath slow. The tree holds you, the forest sings, and you drift back to sleep, soft and cozy, like Edric. As you listen to this, maybe you're feeling sleepy. Maybe your eyes are heavy like Edric, wanting to close. That's okay. This story is for you to help you feel calm and cozy. You don't have to do anything. Just listen to the words like their leaves rustling in the wind. Imagine you're in Edric's tree, waking softly, nibbling bread, looking at the stars. The forest is quiet, the night is gentle, and you're safe. Let's keep going, slow and soft, as Edric drifts back to sleep, the tree holding him tight. The forest is quiet now, deep in the night. The air is cool, and the darkness wraps around everything like a soft blanket. Edric, our hunter, is high up in his oak tree, sitting on a wide, smooth branch. His wool blanket is tucked tight around him, warm and cozy, keeping the chilly night away. His back rests against the rough trunk, strong and steady, like a big hug from the tree. Up in the branches, Edric is close to the stars. They glitter through the leaves, tiny specks of light winking at him like little friends in the sky. The sky feels big, so big but kind, like a giant blanket stretched over the world. Edric breathes deep, slow, and calm, letting the darkness settle over him, heavy and soft. It pulls him into sleep, gentle and easy, like a tide carrying him out to sea. Let's picture Edric in his tree. He's curled up on his branch, his blanket wrapped snug, tied with a rope so he won't slip. His sack is tied to the branch, holding his bread and a rabbit he caught. His bow rests close, safe against the trunk. The leaves above make a green roof, rustling softly in the breeze. The stars shine through, twinkling like tiny candles, and the moon glows, casting silver light on his face. Edric's eyes are heavy, his breath is slow, and he's ready to sleep. He looks up at the stars, so close he feels he could touch them. The sky is vast, but it feels friendly, like it's watching over him, helping him rest. The stars are special to Edric. They're not just lights in the sky, they're like little friends winking at him through the leaves. Some are bright, some are small, but they all shine like a big family gathered above. The leaves move a little, letting the stars peek through like windows in a green curtain. Edric breathes deep, filling his lungs with cool air, and feels the stars light on his face. They make him feel calm, like the forest and the sky are working together to keep him safe. The darkness is heavy but soft, like a warm blanket pulling him towards sleep. Let's imagine you're in the tree with Edric. You're on a branch nearby, your blanket wrapped tight, keeping you warm. The bark is hard but smooth, holding you steady. You look up through the leaves and see the stars, twinkling like little lights just for you. They wink, some bright, some faint, like they're saying good night. The moon is there too, glowing soft and silver like a big nightlight. The sky feels big, so big but kind, like a blanket covering you. You breathe deep, slow, and calm, and feel the darkness settle, heavy and soft. It's like the sky is hugging you, pulling you into sleep. Edric loves being close to the stars. In the village, people sleep in houses with roofs blocking the sky. But up in his tree, Edric sees everything: the stars, the moon, the big, dark sky. The leaves above rustle, letting the starlight through like a net catching bits of light. The stars seem so close, like he could reach out and grab one. He knows he can't, but it feels nice to be near them, like they're his friends, shining just for him. The sky is vast, stretching forever, but it's gentle, like a big hand keeping him safe. The sky is like a blanket to Edric. It's not a blanket you can touch like his wool one, but it feels the same. It covers the forest, the trees, the world, making everything calm and quiet. The darkness is deep, but not scary. It's soft, like a shadow you can trust. Edric breathes slow in and out, like waves on a quiet beach. The sky's darkness settles over him, heavy but gentle, like a big hug. It pulls him towards sleep, like a tide, slow and steady, carrying him away to dreams. Let's think about the sky. It's dark, almost black, but full of stars, like someone sprinkled glitter across it. The moon is round, glowing silver, lighting up the leaves around you. The sky feels big, like it goes on forever, but it's kind, like a friend watching over you. You're in the tree, wrapped in your blanket, looking up. The stars twinkle, winking at you, and the moon glows soft and calm. The darkness is heavy, but it's gentle, like a big blanket settling over you. You breathe deep, and the sky feels like it's helping you rest, pulling you into sleep. Edric's tree is the best place to see the sky. The branch is high, lifting him close to the stars. The leaves make a frame like a window, letting the starlight shine through. The trunk is strong, holding him steady so he can look up without worry. His blanket is warm, keeping the cool air away, letting him focus on the sky. The forest is quiet, with just the rustle of leaves and the chirp of crickets, making the sky feel even bigger. Edric feels like he's part of the sky, like he's sleeping with the stars, safe and cozy. Let's imagine the tree. You're on your branch, leaning against the trunk, feeling its rough bark, solid and strong. Your blanket is tied tight, warm and snug. The branch is wide, smoothed by years of wind, like a bench made just for you. The leaves above rustle, letting the stars peek through like little holes in a green roof. The moon glows, lighting up the forest with silver. The tree lifts you high, close to the sky, like you're floating among the stars. You feel safe, like the tree and the sky are working together to hold you, helping you sleep. Darkness of the night is important to Edric. It's not scary, it's soft, like a big shadow that wraps around him. The darkness makes the stars shine brighter like lights in a dark room. It makes the moon glow stronger, like a silver coin in the sky. Edric breathes deep, letting the darkness settle over him like a heavy quilt. It's not cold or heavy in a bad way. It's warm, gentle, like a hug that says, "Rest now." The darkness pulls him towards sleep, slow and steady, like a river carrying a leaf. Let's think about the darkness. You're in the tree, wrapped in your blanket, looking up. The sky is dark, almost black, but it's not scary. It's soft, like a big blanket covering the world. The stars twinkle bright against the dark like little friends. The moon glows silver and calm, lighting up the leaves. The darkness settles over you, heavy but gentle, like a warm hug. You breathe slow in and out, feeling the darkness pull you like a tide towards sleep. The forest is quiet, the sky is kind, and you feel safe. Edric's breath is part of his sleep. He breathes deep, slow, like the forest itself is breathing with him. The cool air fills his lungs, smelling like pine trees and earth, fresh and clean. His breath goes in then out like a gentle wave. Each breath makes him feel calmer, like the sky is helping him relax. The stars twinkle, the moon glows, and the darkness settles, heavy and soft. His eyes get heavier, his body sinks into the branch, and his breath carries him like a boat into dreams. Let's imagine breathing with Edric. You're on your branch, your blanket warm, the trunk steady behind you. You breathe deep, slow, feeling the cool air in your lungs. It smells like pine and dirt, fresh and good. Your breath goes in then out like a quiet song. The stars twinkle above, winking at you. The moon glows soft and silver. The darkness wraps around you, heavy but gentle, like a big hug. Each breath makes you calmer, your eyes heavier, your body softer. The sky is kind, pulling you like Edric into sleep. The stars make Edric feel like he's not alone. There's so many shining above, like a big family watching over him. Some are bright like lanterns, some are tiny like specks of dust. They twinkle like they're talking to him, saying, "Sleep, Edric, we're here." The leaves move, letting different stars peek through like a game of hide and seek. Edric watches, his eyes droopy, and feels calm. The stars are his friends, the sky is his blanket, and the tree is his bed. He's close to the sky, sleeping with the stars, safe and cozy. Let's think about the stars again. You're in the tree, looking up through the leaves. The stars are everywhere, twinkling like little lights. Some are big, some are small, but they all shine like a big party in the sky. They wink at you like they know you're there. The moon is glowing, silver and soft, like a big smile. The leaves rustle, letting the stars peek through like windows in a green roof. You feel like the stars are your friends, watching over you, helping you rest. The sky is vast but kind, and you're close to it, sleeping with the stars. Edric's tree is perfect for sleeping with the sky. The branch is high, lifting him up like he's halfway to the stars. The trunk is strong, keeping him safe so he can look up without worry. The leaves make a soft frame like a picture of the sky just for him. His blanket is warm, his sack is close, and his bow is tied tight. The forest is quiet, letting the sky's beauty shine. Edric feels like he's part of the sky, like the stars are singing him to sleep. Like the darkness is a gentle tide pulling him into dreams. Let's imagine the forest around the tree. The trees are tall, their leaves rustling softly like a quiet whisper. The air is cool, brushing your face like a gentle hand. The stars twinkle above, the moon glows, and the darkness wraps around you, heavy but soft. You hear crickets chirping far below, their sound lazy and steady. The stream gurgles, soft and distant, like a happy sigh. The forest is calm, letting the sky take center stage like a big blanket over the world. You're in the tree with Edric, sleeping with the sky, safe and cozy. Edric's sleep is deep because of the sky. The stars twinkle like a lullaby you can see. The moon glows like a soft light, keeping the dark friendly. The darkness settles, heavy and gentle, like a warm hug. Edric breathes slow, his eyes closing, his body sinking into the branch. The tree holds him, the blanket wraps him, and the sky covers him. He feels close to the stars, like they're his friends, like the sky is his home. The tide of darkness pulls him, slow and steady, into dreams where he rests, safe and calm. Let's picture Edric sleeping. He's on his branch, his blanket snug, his back against the trunk. His eyes are closed, his breath is slow like a quiet wave. The stars twinkle above, winking through the leaves. The moon glows, silver and soft, lighting up his face. The darkness is heavy but gentle like a big blanket. The leaves rustle, the crickets chirp, the stream gurgles. The forest is quiet, the sky is kind, and Edric is asleep, close to the stars, wrapped in the night's gentle tide. As you listen to this, maybe you're feeling sleepy. Maybe your eyes are heavy like Edric, wanting to close. That's okay. This story is for you to help you feel calm and cozy. You don't have to do anything, just listen to the words like they're leaves rustling in the wind. Imagine you're in Edric's tree, close to the stars, wrapped in a blanket, the sky vast but kind above you. The forest is quiet, the darkness is soft, and you're safe. Let's keep going, slow and gentle, as Edric sleeps with the sky, pulled into dreams by its gentle tide. The forest is quiet now, with the sun gone and the sky turning dark. A few stars are starting to peek out, twinkling like little lights. Edric, our hunter, is ready to eat before he climbs his tree to sleep. He sits by a small fire, the flames dancing low, crackling softly. In his hand is a small pot filled with pottage, a warm, thick mix of barley, wild herbs, and maybe a bit of rabbit meat. The pottage smells good, like earth and warmth, and it fills his belly like a big, cozy hug. Edric stirs it slowly with a wooden spoon, watching the steam rise, curling up into the cool air. He sips it slow and careful, the warmth spreading through him, making his eyelids droop. This warm meal is a signal to his body. It's time to rest, time to climb his tree, time to dream. Let's picture Edric by his fire. He's sitting on a flat rock, close to the ground, his legs crossed. The fire is small, just a few sticks burning, giving off a soft glow. His pot is black and worn, hanging over the flames on a stick he set up. The pottage bubbles gently, making a quiet sound like a little song. Edric's blanket is folded beside him, his sack is nearby, and his bow leans against a tree. His face is lit by the fire, his beard messy with a leaf stuck in it. He stirs the pottage slow and steady, and the steam rises, swirling in the air. His eyes are heavy, his body tired from the day, but the warm food makes him feel calm, like the forest is hugging him. The pottage is simple, but it's special to Edric. It's made from barley, a grain that's chewy and filling, like tiny beads in the pot. He adds wild herbs he finds in the forest, green leaves that smell fresh like mint or sage. Sometimes, if he's lucky, he puts in a bit of rabbit meat, soft and tender from cooking. The pottage is thick, like a soup that's almost a stew, and it sticks to his spoon. When he sips it, the warmth spreads from his mouth to his belly, like drinking a warm hug. It's not fancy, but it's good, and it makes Edric feel ready for sleep. Let's imagine you're sitting with Edric by the fire. You're on a rock too, feeling the warmth of the flames on your face. The fire crackles, soft and low, like a quiet friend. You see Edric stirring his pot, the pottage bubbling, the steam rising like little clouds. You have a bowl too, filled with warm pottage. You sip it slowly, tasting the barley, the herbs, maybe a bit of rabbit. It's thick and warm, filling your belly, making you feel cozy. The forest is dark around you, but the fire's glow is soft and the stars are starting to shine. Your eyes get heavy like Edric, and you know sleep is coming soon. Edric makes his fire carefully. He picks a spot on the ground away from trees where the dirt is flat. He gathers dry twigs from the forest, small and light, that snap when he bends them. He piles them in a little heap like a tiny house for the flames. He uses a flint stone to make a spark, striking it with his knife, watching the tiny light catch the twigs. The fire starts small, just a flicker, but it grows, crackling and warm. Edric adds more sticks, keeping the fire small so it's safe. The flames dance, making shadows on the ground, like little friends playing in the dark. Let's think about the fire. It's not big, just a small circle of light in the forest. The flames are orange and yellow, moving back and forth like they're dancing to a quiet song. The twigs crackle, making a soft sound like popping corn. The warmth touches your face, your hands, your knees, making you feel cozy, like you're wrapped in a warm blanket. You see Edric add a stick, careful and slow, keeping the fire just right. The smoke rises, thin and gray, mixing with the steam from the pottage. The forest is calm, and the fire feels like a little hug, helping you relax. The pottage is Edric's favorite meal before sleep. He makes it in a small pot, one he carries in his sack. The barley comes from the village, given to him for the rabbits he catches. He keeps it in a cloth tied tight to stay dry. The herbs he finds himself, picking green leaves from the forest floor, sniffing them to make sure they're good. The rabbit, if he has it, is from his traps, cleaned and cut with his knife. He mixes it all in the pot with water from a stream, stirring it over the fire until it's thick and warm. The pottage smells like the forest, like earth and plants, and it makes his belly happy. Let's imagine making pottage with Edric. You're by the fire, watching him pour barley into the pot. The grains are small, like tiny pebbles, and they plop into the water. He adds herbs, green and fresh, breaking them with his fingers, letting their smell fill the air. If there's rabbit, he drops in small pieces, soft and pink. You stir the pot with a wooden spoon, slow and careful, watching the pottage thicken. The fire crackles, the steam rises, and the smell makes your mouth water. You feel cozy, like you're helping make something special, something that says, time to rest. Edric sips his pottage slowly, holding the pot close to his mouth. He doesn't have a bowl, just the pot warm in his hands. He uses his wooden spoon, scooping up the thick mix, blowing on it to cool it down. The first sip is hot but good, warming his throat, spreading through his chest. He chews the barley, soft and chewy, and tastes the herbs, fresh and green. If there's rabbit, it's tender like a little treat. He eats slowly, no rush, letting the warmth fill him up. His eyelids droop, his body relaxes, and the forest feels calm around him. Let's think about sipping pottage. You're by the fire, holding a small bowl of pottage, warm in your hands. You scoop some with a spoon, blow on it to cool it, and take a sip. It's thick, like a hug in your mouth, warming your throat, filling your belly. You taste the barley, chewy and good, and the herbs, fresh like the forest. Maybe there's a bit of rabbit, soft and tasty. You sip slowly, like Edric, feeling the warmth spread through you. The fire crackles, the stars twinkle, and your eyes get heavy, like the pottage is saying, time to sleep. The fire is important to Edric's meal. It's not just for cooking, it's for warmth, for light, for feeling safe. The flames make a soft glow, lighting up his face, the pot, the trees nearby. The warmth keeps the cool night air away like a cozy shield. The crackling sound is gentle, like a friend talking quietly. Edric sits close, feeling the heat on his knees, his hands, his face. The fire makes the pottage possible, turning the barley and herbs into something warm and filling. It's like the forest is helping him, giving him fire to make his meal, to make him ready for sleep. Let's imagine the fire's glow. You're sitting with Edric, the flames dancing in front of you. The light is soft, orange and yellow, making shadows on the ground like little shapes moving. The warmth touches your face, your hands, making you feel cozy, like you're wrapped in a warm hug. The crackling is quiet, like a whisper, mixing with the rustling leaves above. You see Edric's face in the glow, his eyes droopy, his spoon moving slowly. The forest is dark, but the fire is bright, like a little star on the ground, helping you feel safe. Edric's pottage is more than food, it's a signal. When he sits by the fire, stirring the pot, sipping the warm mix, his body knows what's coming. The warmth in his belly, the steam on his face, the crackling fire, they all say, time to rest, time to climb, time to dream. His eyelids get heavy, his breath gets slow, and his body feels calm, like it's ready to let go of the day. The forest is quiet, the stars are shining, and Edric knows his tree is waiting, ready to hold him tight. Let's think about the signal. You're by the fire, sipping your pottage, feeling the warmth spread through you. The fire crackles, the steam rises, and the forest is calm. Each sip makes you feel cozier, like your body is getting ready for something. Your eyes droop, your breath slows, and you know it's time to rest. You look at Edric, stirring his pot, his face soft in the fire's glow. The pottage is telling you, just like it tells him, that the day is done and sleep is near. The forest feels safe, like it's saying, climb your tree, dream your dreams. Edric finishes his pottage, scraping the last bits from the pot. He sets it down, careful not to spill, and wipes his spoon on his shirt. The fire is low now, just a few glowing sticks, still crackling softly. He adds a little dirt to the flames, making them die down, keeping the forest safe. His belly is full, warm, like a happy weight inside him. His eyelids are heavy, his body is tired, and his mind is calm. He folds his blanket, slings his sack over his shoulder, and looks at his tree, its branches wide and strong, waiting for him. Let's imagine finishing the meal. You've sipped the last of your pottage, your bowl empty, your belly full. The fire is low, glowing softly like a sleepy friend. You help Edric put dirt on the flames, watching them fade, keeping the forest safe. Your body feels warm, your eyes are droopy, and you're ready to climb. You look at the oak tree, its branches reaching out like arms ready to hold you. The stars twinkle above, the forest is quiet, and you feel cozy, like the pottage has prepared you for sleep. Edric's meal is simple, but it's enough. He doesn't need a big feast with plates and fancy food. His pottage, made from barley, herbs, and maybe rabbit, is all he wants. It's warm, it's filling, and it's made with the forest's gifts. The fire is small, but it's enough to cook his meal, to light his face, to make him feel safe. The pot is old, but it holds his pottage, keeping it hot and good. Edric sips it slowly, letting the warmth spread, letting the signal sink in. Time to rest, time to climb, time to dream. Let's picture the forest as Edric prepares to climb. The fire is out now, just a pile of warm dirt. The stars are bright, twinkling through the leaves. The air is cool, brushing your face like a gentle hand. The trees stand tall, their branches swaying softly like a quiet dance. You hear crickets chirping, far away, their sound lazy and steady. A stream gurgles, soft and distant, like a happy whisper. Edric stands, his blanket folded, his sack ready. You stand too, feeling the pottage's warmth in your belly, your eyes heavy, ready to climb the tree and sleep. Edric's pottage is like a ritual, something he does every night before sleep. He gathers his twigs, makes his fire, cooks his meal. He stirs the pot, sips the pottage, feels the warmth. The fire crackles, the steam rises, and the forest watches, quiet and calm. His body knows this routine like a song it sings every night. The pottage fills him, the fire warms him, and the tree waits for him. His eyelids droop, his breath slows, and he's ready to climb, ready to rest, ready to dream. Let's imagine the ritual. You're with Edric, helping him gather twigs, watching him light the fire. You see the flames grow, small but warm, and you help stir the pottage, smelling the barley and herbs. You sip it together, slow and careful, feeling the warmth spread. The fire crackles, the stars twinkle, and the forest is quiet. Your body feels the signal like Edric, saying it's time to rest. You look at the tree, its branches strong, and no sleep is near. The pottage, the fire, the forest, they're all part of this cozy moment, preparing you for dreams. As you listen to this, maybe you're feeling sleepy. Maybe your eyes are heavy like Edric, wanting to close. That's okay. This story is for you to help you feel calm and cozy. You don't have to do anything. Just listen to the words like they're leaves rustling in the wind. Imagine you're with Edric by the fire, sipping pottage, feeling the warmth in your belly. The forest is quiet, the stars are shining, and the tree is waiting. You're safe, ready to climb, ready to dream, wrapped in the night's gentle warmth.